What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 109 of the Tastecast, our weekly podcast where we talk about things, react to things, do a bunch of random shit. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Chris isn't here again. Hopefully we can get him back soon. Someone has taken the poor boy, and we're trying to get him back. So if you see him, send him our way. But in the meantime, quick reminders to download and play Sims 4 and Bioshock Collection, both offered for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back to the Month for Plus Club. Let us know what you thought of those games. This is a really short month, so fucking get on this shit because we're already like halfway through. It's crazy. I hate this month. It's so fucking short. Chevy, play those games. Randomly picked game of the month is Monster Hunter World plus Iceborne. Make sure to play that as well. Come back at the end of the month for game of the month. Tell us what you thought of that game. You loved it. We know that already. We're going to tell you how much we love it as well. And we're going to have that conversation. So it's going to be a big circle jerk. You're going to love it. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. If you love us a lot and you've already commented, shared, and did all that stuff, subscribed, maybe you're a new subscriber, welcome. Check out our Patreon if you'd like to potentially contribute to the channel even further. Especially if you're a millionaire, that'd be cool. And also, Ask TLG, hashtag Ask TLG. If you want your comment to be considered to be on the show, Tastecast today, this show, make sure to put in hashtag Ask TLG.
Makes it easier to find. So
yeah. Otherwise, we just kind of pick them as we go, and I like doing that as well. But if you're like, hey, I'd really love if they'd address this, for sure, there's a better chance because I'm going to prioritize that one. It might even be the very first one that I bring up. So Tastecast, every Tastecast we typically talk about what we've been playing. My list is medium sized, but only two of them I really want to talk about. The rest of them I'm like, whatever. So what's your list like?
4 games, but I don't think I really can go in depth in any of them. So
okay, well, how about you start us out off?
Okay. I'll start with the newer ones. I played a little free to play game on Steam called Cheeky Chooks.
Oh, you got that chook thing.
Which is an idle click chicken raising game.
I love the name.
It's pretty much exactly what I just said in that very short blip. It does have some fun, creative things to it. Like when you hatch rare chooks, they can be like really ridiculous colors or have like crazy designs. The game will also throw mini games at you to kind of make you participate. A lot of like idle click games make you start clicking things. This is more like come back every once in a while, sell the eggs, and then play the mini game, which is pumpkin smashing, which the chickens will help you do. Find the hats. Some chickens will be wearing hats, and you click on them to find them, and find the chicken or chook. And I don't have enough chooks to do that one yet, apparently. So,
the fuck is a chook?
They're chickens.
God. So it's an idle click game, but there's things to interact with.
Yeah, it's not. It's like an idle click game, but there's no clicking really. It's just idle with mini games.
Would you recommend it? So that's free to play.
It is free to play. So I mean, yeah, you got nothing to lose if you're into that kind of stuff. It's entertaining for a little bit.
Is it on mobile?
I don't know. I played it on Steam.
I'll have to look into it.
But yeah, that's kind of an interesting one. If you're into those type of games, I tend to dabble with them from time to time. So, yeah, interesting. I don't know if it has the long haul to it like some of them do, but it's a fun, couple hours at the very least. Mm-hmm. I also played. I already forgot the name of it. Well, I played Sims 4, which was one of the games that I was supposed to play and did play. So,
Cheeky Chooks is on Android.
Oh, cool.
I'm downloading it
now. Can't talk too much about it, obviously, but I have put in quite a few hours already. And
you've probably put in more than I did.
And I got 2 different characters to kind of get 2 different experiences. One I was more interactive with. The other one I kind of just let play itself. So, yeah. If you've played Sims before, I would just say you pretty much know what to expect. Just kind of stick it to that point. I think
but
we'll talk
will
more
be
in
talking
detail
about it more later this month. Yeah. But I had the same impression. I was like, I played this before. Never played this game before.
Yeah, exactly.
I was playing. I was like, this is a higher graphic expansion.
Really, a lot of the talking points, I think, to give you kind of a view to the future, will be the platform in which it was played on, and more so than I think the game itself.
The most I have to say about the game has to do with it on console.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah.
I played
play it.
Based off of the fighting game coming out, me having a little bit of history with gacha games, and then someone popping in the Discord and talking about it, I tried out Grand Blue Fantasy. That was kind of a pain in the butt to figure out.
Did you buy it?
No, it's a free game.
Oh,
Not
no,
the versus, not
oh,
versus.
my bad.
The
I got
gotcha
confused.
game.
I got confused.
So I have an iPhone,
I'm
and
so sorry.
it makes it even more difficult, at least in the aspect that I have to have a Japanese iTunes account, and I didn't want to do that. Apparently, you can play it via browser though, so that's how I played it.
Nice.
It's a gotcha game, and I'm not trying to ruin anyone's fun who's like really into it. It's neat. I would probably play it a lot. I'm a little burnt out from like 2 years of like Final Fantasy Brave Exvius though, so
Yeah, you were fucking hardcore in that.
I'm not really in the market for a gotcha game right now. But I did want to check it out. I love the art style. Reminds me of Final Fantasy Tactics. And
I like the art style too. I don't know shit about the game, but every time I see it, it looks cool.
It's beautiful, and the game itself is kind of like older style gotcha, and it's still, I think the art style still is good to look at. I did see a little bit of the fighting game, and I'm a little more intrigued. But I love Arc System Works' style when it comes to fighting games.
Did they make it?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know they made that.
yeah. So
I watched people play it, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?"
it
generic
looks
game?
like Guilty Gear.
But I was instantly drawn to it when I was
Yeah.
watching people play. I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
I might have the exact company wrong because I know there's the publisher and one of the developers of the fighting games have very similar names. So, but yeah, it's in that family essentially of developers. And then I played Final Fantasy 14, getting ready for when you guys watch this, it'll be patch day for me, and I will be absorbing all the new content at that point. So, yeah, day after you watch this. Sorry, I'm getting my shows mixed up.
Yeah, well, we're doing pretty much back to back now. So,
Yeah.
I remember we had Tasty Tuesday, and then we had originally it was like a Friday or Saturday show, and I just kept pushing it further and further back. So I'm like, I want my weekend, but I want to do the show as well. So you'll have to deal with. It's going to come out. I always say the weekend, but it comes out Monday pretty much.
Yeah.
So you got Monday, Tuesday shows.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything really to report in 14. I assisted you with getting some of the event stuff done before they went away, and then, like I said, I've been just kind of mostly prepping my character for patch stuff, and I didn't have a lot of prep to do anyways. I still have to go and trade in my tombstones so that I don't have to worry about converting them. I know some people cap them out and convert them currency in game, so I'm not losing people too much here.
I will say this people probably don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Every couple patches they change the currency in game, and you can convert the old currency to the new. So
Might think you're talking about frozen pizza.
yeah,
Or graveyards.
wrong tombstone.
I got like 50 some tombstones. I got out of the graveyard. Call the cops.
Yeah, that's it for me though.
Nice. I only have a couple I need to really talk about. Been playing more Warson, which is an ARPG on CryEngine. I talked about it in prior episodes. I'm really digging it. I'd like to play with somebody. It's the Diablo experience. It's an RPG. It plays like you'd expect. It has some stuff about it that's really flashy and really nice looking, which I really dig. The story is very story heavy. It's nice. You run into characters, they have like full on conversations. Your character talks a lot. And it's cool. I'm getting like Warhammer vibes from it though. Some of the people who are like heavily armored are like in like crazy, very Catholic almost looking, cathedral looking armor. But then I saw other characters that looked more like roguish that looked nothing like that. So that might just be that faction, which is kind of interesting. But would definitely recommend that game so far. A lot of that jank that I was talking about before, I did fix it in the options when it comes to clicking on and dragging the mouse over to people. It says auto attack. That's what they call it in that. And you essentially, if you click in a direction and enemies come into contact with you while you're holding down the mouse, your guy will start hitting them. So it's kind of weird. It's not quite like how Blizzard and other games have done with newer ARPGs, but it works. So I think it's a lot better. Him walking into them though still kind of happens, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, definitely check that out if you're curious about it. I would definitely recommend it. Although I want to play that multiplayer. Also been playing Pagan Online. That game is really fucking fun. I'm really enjoying it. It feels more like a finished game than the first time I played it. And the characters I've unlocked, they're all really interesting. In fact, gameplay wise, I enjoy Pagan Online more than I enjoy ARPGs because I feel like I'm more involved. Less moves, although they added a bunch of shit to the skill trees now, which is nice. There's way more things to be clicking through. Before there's like 2 options per thing, which was kind of like disappointing. But now there's like a whole tree of your moves they have to unlock and then the modifiers to them. So
Now, is that a release product or is that an early access title?
I don't know if it's still in early access or not, because fucking games on Steam will be in early access for like 6 years.
Or you can be Warframe and never leave it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then like 8 years later, finally it's like the game is released, and I'm like, that's a weird way to put it because I've been playing this for fucking years. This is part of my life at this point, and fucking now you're like, that's out. What game recently just? Oh, Dreams. Everybody's talking
Yeah.
about Dreams lately, and I'm like, I've been playing that. Like, it's so weird not to be like I played it first. I'm just saying like I bought it in early access
Early
because that was a
adopter.
game I was looking forward to for a long time. And then lately, everybody's like, Dreams is really cool. I'm like, I know. I'm glad. I'm glad people are playing it. It's awesome. I actually need to hop back in that because
I wonder how much it's changed.
I'm sure by now there's some fucking crazy shit to look at. So, yeah, so Pagan Online has multiplayer. Want to try that as well. Way satisfying to play. I'm really enjoying it. And the classes that I have unlocked so far is like this dude with a boomerang who's almost like you'd expect to be like he has a pet bear. So, and you run around with that bear, and the bear attacks, and they attack it, and you run around. You throw the boomerangs constantly, and they come back, so you're kind of ranged.
Okay.
But his all the characters have like a shift button that's some kind of mobility move, and his is he becomes ethereal and teleports into his bear, and the bear's just tanking damage while you're not taking damage, and it heals you. And
So
then
it's
you
like
come
the
back
take
out.
on a druid.
Yeah, yeah, that's the fucking world's looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's kind of cool. I only have 3 moves so far for him, but way different than my gunner guy, who I'm really digging. He's got like a blunderbuss that hits everybody. He's very agile. He does a lot of movement stuff. Throws down tar on the ground, speeds me up, slows them down. Later, you can ignite it. I have 2 turrets I can drop down that are called rats. And it's because the turrets have 2 little rats that are always on your shoulders.
Yeah, you told me
on
this.
top of the turrets, just pop, 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 shooting. So I think it's kind of funny. Some really cool style to the game. I really dig it. So I would definitely recommend that one as well. Both those games, definitely recommend. More people should play these games. I don't know anybody who plays them. Played Sims 4. Like you, I kind of hopped in, kind of checked around to see what's new with Sims 4. I've played 1 a shitload, and the expansions. 2 I played quite a bit. 3 I didn't really touch a whole lot, but I watched a friend play it quite a bit. And 4 I just didn't touch. When it came out, it was during that time where, and still is that time where EA releases a game and it's looking less than interesting, I guess. The graphics look worse than the prior game, and the features are blah 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 blah. But so many expansions have come out for that game by this time that it's finally at the point where you should probably thinking about it, because I'm sure we'll be getting a Sims 5 here soon. But yeah, we'll talk about that more. But yeah, I have a lot to say on it, but not necessarily about the game itself. Like, it's kind of just expected. So what that means, you'll find out. I've played BioShock 1 through 3. And by that, I didn't beat them. I just dabbled a bit in each one. I kind of wanted to see what these remastered versions on PS4 look like, because I played BioShock when it came out, never played BioShock 2, and then I played Infinite on PC, so I got to see that game at really good graphics. And without talking about my opinions on these games too much, holy shit, those games are fucking imaginative, man. They're so unique. So fucking unique, man. It's crazy. We'll talk about that more.
I don't think that team's around anymore either.
They are.
Are they? I thought
think.
people left it for some reason.
No, people did leave it. Like, the people who were responsible for it are gone after
yeah.
Infinite. But they still exist, because I believe they are working on new BioShock. So if it's good or not, I don't know. If it will be, because I'm a very heavy believer in, like, the minds that come up with stuff. You can try and replicate what they did, but you weren't the one conveying that info. They were, and they're the ones overseeing it to make sure their vision was met. Now you're just trying to emulate it, and some people do a good job
Yeah.
at copying and emulating what people have done before them, or maybe adding their own flair to it, which, if you're also a brilliant mind and you take someone's idea and you make it into something else that's great, awesome. But a lot of times you just have somebody going like, we need another one in the series. We don't got the minds that created it, so just follow the blueprint.
Yeah.
And it'll feel empty, deflated, or they're not going to nail it. So, But I do think 100%, we'll talk about this more, but I do think we are overdue for 2 games, Fable and BioShock. Just because Fable 3 and 4, 3 was a great step past 2. It did what 2 should have done in a lot of ways. 4 felt way too rushed. There's a Fable 4, right?
I think it's just 3. But
Is it just 3?
yeah, I think
Maybe
so.
I'm hoping for 4. What the fuck was the other Fable game?
There was that one weird one coming out that was supposed to be like this, like almost like top down like adventure game that they
See,
were.
it's been so long, I forgot fucking what Fables even existed.
I think at this point they make another Fable game, they really got to go ham on it because the name.
Fable 4 is being worked on.
Okay.
My mistake. Yeah, three did a lot of cool things though with the multiplayer, but the game just didn't have the same kind of. Because I never beat that.
It was
one.
the same game again.
That's
essentially,
and that's what I was. My fake Fable 4 is like 3. That's what I meant. 3 is like 2. It just did multiplayer better and that kind of shit.
You know, yeah, it's like they everyone bitched about 2. They just kind of like re-released it with good multiplayer because I think me and you played Fable 3 together. Yeah, and it was a blast in that regard. At this point, especially with us now going into another console cycle, if they make another Fable, it needs to be like big game. So
Well, that's the thing is, and I'm not trying to get too far into this conversation, but Fable. The reason I say Fable and BioShock are ready for sequels is because it's been a while. They set a standard back then, but I think it's time to take what happened and evolve it in a big way.
Yeah.
Not just make the next game, make the next fucking revolution in gaming, essentially. A new BioShock that had the best graphics that you can currently get with some fucking crazy imagination like we expect from BioShock with better gameplay mechanics. We'll talk about that more. Something more engaging to me would be fucking phenomenal. And then with Fable has so many cool fucking ideas.
For sure.
But make it grander. Make that a bigger fucking RPG fantasy experience with the same characteristics and style and charm that Fable has. Because Fable, you look at Fable, that's Fable. It doesn't look like Elder Scrolls.
it's so crazy too because Fable is like always like this close to a home run.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Because Fable 1 is probably my favorite tonally because it has that dark fantasy they talked about before the game came out. They're like, Fable's going to be a dark fantasy. And it was. It had this cool, like, fairy tale-esque fantasy feeling to it. Fable 2 kind of lost that.
Yeah, they got kind of goofy.
It got more whimsical, in my opinion. It got more, like, fanciful. Like, it was this, like, goofy but charming fantasy fairy tale feeling, but it didn't have that darkness to it.
Yeah.
And then Fable 3 threw all of it out the window and just was trying to make, like, more of a fantasy game.
Yeah.
With a lot of the social elements of the prior games and stuff like that while making the multiplayer better. So yeah, I would love all the great things from Fable put into just a fucking bolder idea. So, and maybe bring it back to something a little more fantasy because I really like the first Fable and its tone. It's almost Tim Burton-esque, and I know that nowadays that's kind of, I don't know if that's a compliment, but old Tim Burton-esque. It has this cool strangeness to it, which I really dig.
Right.
I've been playing the Division 2 again. We'll be talking about that a little more later in this episode, but that game's real easy, man. Once you start playing it, it's just easy to keep playing it. The expansion's coming out. We'll be covering that. But helped a community member, Psycho, or played with him through the first playthrough to get him to the next world tier. Josh hopped in as well, so we were just kind of running around bullshitting and shooting stuff, and that game's a blast to play. I really enjoy it. It's just it doesn't have there's no addictive quality. When you're playing it, you're like, this feels good. You're fucking, I love this.
Yeah.
But later, you're not like, I need that. Something else hit harder, so you're like, oh, I fucking like that way more. But I am excited, and we'll talk about that further. So I don't want to talk about it too much, but I was having fun playing that. I played it like all day yesterday. I played it a lot. It was kind of crazy. And then lastly, I played the Bleeding Edge beta, which is Ninja Theory's first game they've developed since being acquired by Microsoft. If you didn't get a chance to check out that beta, it was on Xbox and PC through Game Pass. All you had to do is have Game Pass. You can download that. It's going to have cross-play. I don't know if it did or not. I didn't pay attention if I was playing with people on Xbox or not, but because I played on PC. But it's going to have crossplay, and it's essentially a 4v4, as they call it, because people keep looking at it, and they're like, what is this? And I tell them, they're like, oh, so it's like Overwatch? I'm like, not quite. And the way they call it a fighter or a brawler. So, and that kind of makes me think of like
Streets of Rage and stuff.
Power Stone.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, when I think brawler, I think
Sure,
like
I
Streets of
think
Rage,
the same thing too, but that's more of a cooperative game. So I think of like Power Stone in the sense of like being in an arena and running around doing shit.
Yeah, those weird 3D fighters.
Because even though the ranged characters in Bleeding Edge are ranged, they're balanced in a way that anyone who's melee can fight you. Like you're not the only thing you are really depending on with guns is to keep your distance in combat, but you're still going to be up in people's faces a lot, and you got plenty of moves to kind of counteract that. But anyway, it's a 4v4 fighter brawler game where it has different game modes. The only two that they had in it so far was a mode that's pretty much like Battlefield. There's like random points that'll pop up, but unlike Battlefield, they're random. So like there's 3 points in the map, and all of a sudden it's like A is going to start soon, so everybody's running over there. Or sometimes it's like A and C are active right now, but B's not. Or like B's the only one that's active. So it's constantly keeping you running around. And I think, if I remember correctly, if you're not on one for too long, it'll deactivate. So it's the game's really telling you to keep moving, so you're not just sitting on a point the whole time.
I don't want you to keep fighting, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really interesting, and you got to really strategize. And then the other mode is these random boxes, I guess, will show up in groups of 4 on the map. You have to run and find those, break them, and then collect these crystals. I think they're crystals. Fuck, I don't even remember at this point. It's my least favorite mode of the two. You grab those, you collect as many as you can, and then randomly a point will show up on the map where you can deposit those. The deposit process takes a second, especially the more you have. You have to stand on top of it. Your character will get down and start kind of like depositing them, and there's a bar that'll go, and if you get interrupted, you don't deposit any of them. So you have to complete it to get all of them in. I kind of wish you could deposit piece by piece. So if you're sitting there to complete it all, maybe there's a timer, but maybe the 4 you put in already made it in there. I don't know, but there's a lot of tension to it when you're doing that and waiting. You'll see some guy running up and you're like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So it's nice also because your team has to run defense, like try and keep them away from you and shit. But yeah, those are the 2 modes I played so far. And like I said, it's 4v4. So you're on team with 3 people. They're on team and you're fucking just going at each other. And yeah, I actually like this game a lot more than I thought it would. It has a really clean, really it pops visually. It has a really good, almost cartoony, but not quite. It's very stylized art style, really smooth, really shiny and nice. All the characters are augmented in some way. There's a person who has pretty much like ostrich legs, but they're mechanical. And then her upper torso is like a human, but then she has like almost like feathers in her shoulders or whatever. And she has like really like agile moves. She can like jump and shoot at people, and fucking you can hold down her jump button and jump up onto ledges above and stuff. She's really annoying when you're trying to kill her, and she just fucking leaps somewhere. There's a guy who's a healer who sits in like a cart, and he's like a pro gamer or something. I didn't read their bios, but he sits there just with like a fucking mechanical arm that holds his fucking pretty much Mountain Dew, and he just sits there with a controller. And every character has like a mobility move to get around the map faster, kind of like in like Paladins or something when you summon your horse and you get across the map faster. This has something similar to that, but it's neat because some of the characters don't. Most characters have a hoverboard, and this hoverboard is to unlock for style reasons. Some of the characters don't need a hoverboard, like the kid who's sitting in the robot thing. When you go into his mobility mode, all of a sudden like holograms of like a steering wheel show up in front of him, and he grabs onto it, and then like he has like a helmet, and fucking there's like a spoiler on the back of it, and he starts driving it. And it's like the animation's fantastic. The game looks really good. There's a chick who's like pretty much sitting on a wheel, and she like moves really slow. She's a tank. She's actually really fucking good too. But when you go into her like transportation mode, she like leans forward her 2 saw weapons that are circles into a wheel, and then she just leans forward and drives like a motorcycle.
Gotcha.
There's a couple other ones too. That bird chick I talked about, she doesn't have a mode, but if you just run long enough, she starts running as fast as anyone doing that. So that's kind of nice. She'll get to points quickly because you don't have to essentially summon your mount.
Gotcha.
So a lot of really cool ideas. And like I said, I pretty much had a general idea of what this game was going to be. Saw it at E3, saw people playing it. I did not wait in line to play it. I was like, I'll wait till that comes out. Seeing, gameplay, whatever. Playing it though, I really like it. 2 frustrations I have with it though is because it's a beta, just like myself, everybody's trying to learn how to play the game. So there's a big difference between people who are getting it and people who are not getting it. And if you're on a team with some people figuring the game out and you're against a team that had gotten shit figured out, you get fucking annihilated. It's just no contest. It's so frustrating, but being the understanding person that I am, I'm frustrated, but And I'm just like, it's fine, but this is so annoying because like someone's playing like healer and they're just not healing people very well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I was healer, I'd be fucking healing people. Give me it. Or be like, fucking stay together. Because if there's fucking 4 of them all together and it's just me and one other dude, or I'm alone because everybody just ran in different fucking directions, I'm gonna get murdered instantly as soon as I run into those 4 people. So you definitely have to. It's so team oriented. But when you're playing with a team, when you're doing the steamrolling, it's a fucking blast. And it's best when your team knows what they're doing and their team knows what they're doing, and you have like this big battle and you're fucking inching further, fucking like taking one dude out. Now they got 3 and you still have 4 and you're keeping everyone healed and shit. And you eventually just kind of destroy them and they're on the run. It's awesome. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend this game. If that sounds interesting to you, I think this is pretty much, in my opinion, one of the best examples of that kind of game. It's really fun. I like also that as you play a character, you level them, and as you level, you unlock mods, which will modify their moves. So unlike a game like Overwatch, which people keep asking comparisons, because it kind of makes sense. They're heroes that have specific roles and shit, but that's existed in games way before Overwatch. And even in MMOs, the roles exist. Right. It's cool because you'll have all these moves, but then you can like change, durations of how long things last, how they work. For instance, the healer, I have a move that when I'm healing somebody, I get 15% of the heals I'm giving them back to me. Okay. So it keeps me alive longer to heal them. So it incentivizes me to fucking always be healing. And in certain matches, I was like, this is gross. Because like me and this dude are just staying alive. And people come and start hitting me. And then that guy that I'm healing will turn and start hitting that guy. And I'm like, you're not killing both of us. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. You better run. So
in a weird sort of way, that reminds me, because I have dabbled a little bit of PvP in 14 now. In fact, when I was helping you with your tombstones, that's what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And it's like white mages. You start fighting them, and they're not really gonna kill you, but you're not gonna kill them either.
That's the thing with the healer. Like that's so fucking annoying. Is like if you're fighting a dude and that healer's with them, unless you have people with you, you're not killing him. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Just turns into this big like fucking slap fest. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like this. I've literally been in situations where I was healing a dude and there's a healer healing their dude, and those guys were just fucking hitting each other, and me and the healer just floating around. And finally I looked at the healer and I started just fucking shooting him, and he started shooting me. I'm like, fuck you. And like these guys are fighting, we're fighting. I'm like, you motherfucker. And I killed them, and then I started healing my guy, and I'm like, holy shit, that was close. So yeah, I can talk about it longer, but it was in beta. Hopefully you got a chance to try it. And like I said, if you're interested in it, I would definitely recommend you check out Why Had a Stream Up. It disappeared for some reason.
Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube always. This has happened 2 other times with streams. It's kind of weird. I don't know what the fucking problem is. I try not to guess anymore and just fucking go with the fucking flow.
Wouldn't you have a VOD on Twitch?
Yeah, you can check out. Am I Tasty Senpai on Twitch?
Yeah.
Or TLG Tasty Senpai. Check out Tasty Senpai. Link down below. Twitch if you want to watch my gameplay of it. I was up till like 7:38 a.m. playing that game. I was delirious playing that game. I was losing a lot because I was just like fucking not there. But I was actually enjoying myself playing the game and trying to. It's a game like it. I think that one of the better comparisons to this game is For Honor.
Okay.
But not combat wise. Just like the idea.
Right.
Because one of the things about For Honor that I can appreciate but I don't love is the combat.
Yeah.
Right. This game has a similar thing where your team is running and doing the objectives, and their team is running and doing the objectives, but the combat's more similar to an MMO PvP almost.
Yeah.
But it's also actiony. It feels really good. It's really reactive. It's less like you're just paying attention to the DPS you're doing.
Right.
More so you're actually doing active moves and dodging and stuff like that. So anyway, it's cool. I like it. I will probably pick it up when it comes out, which is not something I thought. Like I said, I had zero hype for this game before. Outside of going like, oh, cool, Microsoft bought Ninja Theory, which is a fucking get. And then now I'm playing this game, and I'm like, I hope that does well. Especially like crossplay. That's awesome, because that means I can buy it on PC and not worry about not being able to play with people.
For sure.
On an Xbox. So, all right, anything else you've been playing?
No.
All right, let us know in the comments, what games have you guys been playing? What games are you planning on playing? Is there games that we should be playing right now? And everything in between. Is there something you played recently and you're like, I fucking hate this game? Warn me, please. I need these warnings, because I play everything, and it'd be nicer if I played a couple games less. Because I'm like, you know what? I heard a specific person say this game's fucking garbage. Be that person in the comments below. So we went and saw Sonic,
the
Hedgehog, the movie. We're going to do a quickie review So, in case you don't know, the Sonic movie is out. It's about Sonic the Hedgehog. Everybody knows that the original version of Sonic looked like a little demon, fucking rat boiv, blue rat boiv, as I call him, which translate to blue rat drink. And they changed him over to a little chubby boy, which is the way I like Sonic to be, a little chubby boy. And yeah, we went and saw it.
Yes.
And quickly, what do you think?
Well, first off, this movie is for everybody.
It's a family movie for sure.
Yeah.
I could definitely see kids liking this a lot.
Yeah, you don't have to have any knowledge of Sonic to play this, or to play this, watch this.
But that's the earlier I was talking about Silent Hill. And I was talking about Silent Hill the movie and Silent Hill the game with Cody. And I started calling I was like, yeah, in the game. I was like, wait, the movie. And I was like, yeah, I did the exact same thing. I just wanted to piggyback real quick though.
Yeah.
This movie could be watched by anybody, regardless of if you played Sonic. But Sonic is people forget, Sonic's such a fucking icon, like Mario, that you don't even have to be like a gamer to be like, oh, Sonic, the little fat hedgehog, that's cool. But also, this game nods a lot to people. Yeah, this movie. This movie nods a lot to people who have played Sonic. A lot. It was made by people who've played it, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk too much in detail about the movie itself because I honestly, I'm going to. All right. I'm gonna suggest just right off the bat that you go see it. It's worth seeing in theater. Just to throw that out.
It's like the highest grossing video game movie at this point.
Yeah,
which is wild.
And you know, kind of like where I started. You know, you can appreciate it, dependent. You know, regardless of your personal investment in the character and gaming franchise. That being said, like you were saying, the nods to Sonic are they're in there. They don't feel super cheesy, which is nice. They're literally just kind of little Easter eggs that are sprinkled in there. I think very tastefully, and they used a lot of elements from the games and made them make sense in like even lore wise in this movie without spoiling too much. Like the way rings work. They kind of melded some ideas together for that, but still technically in the games.
The movie as a movie is pretty simple and straightforward.
Yes.
In fact, that's probably one of my only complaints about the movie is it's a very basic.
Very super basic.
Very basic movie, but I think it's safe because it's better you make a fucking passable movie than a shit movie. But I do think it's very clever.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. And particularly in the ways that it's nodding to people who know Sonic.
And not even just as a game, but as like, I kind of brought this up earlier when we were kind of chit-chatting about it, but even like the old like cartoon, the original cartoon of it.
For sure.
There's a lot of nods to that too, which is kind of neat because that was a really cool medium of Sonic growing up for a lot of people too.
It fucking nods to the weird Sonic pictures all over the internet.
Yeah, I can't remember what people call that, but yeah.
Like I call it the Sonic.
Sanic
or something like that.
Yeah,
whatever the fucking meme is.
The picture's literally in the movie.
There's literally a dude in the movie who's like a Bigfoot conspiracy theory kind of guy. He's like, there's the blue demon out in the woods or whatever, the blue devil. He pulls up a fucking picture and it's literally one of the meme fucking pictures of Sonic, like where it looks ugly and shit. And I saw that, I was like, oh, it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
So it's made by Sonic fans who
For sure.
understand people who know Sonic, the culture of Sonic. So, which is interesting.
It even nods to his shoes.
Yep.
Because, you know, that's obviously, he doesn't wear a lot of clothes, so his characteristics are pretty simple, but that's a big popping feature for him.
Except for that original fucking version of him. For the movie version, it's a big deal what they did with changing his character over to how he looks now, because I think tonally that movie would have been completely different with that other
for sure
character model.
Yeah, the only other thing I'm going to add, because I'm sure you have things to say about it too. But
I'll be brief about it. But
this it feels like the same way in like comic book stuff does. It's an origin story though.
Yeah.
So it's not super exciting in that regard. If you already know who Sonic is, I think for a lot of people it'll be fun for them regardless. But I think if you're looking for like, you know, a Sonic, you know, movie that's purely like just him being him, this is like him figuring that out in an origin story. So it's good, but at the same time, there's not like a lot of like action in the movie. So
yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I found it entertaining. And the things I liked about it a lot. And the things I was not, I didn't dislike anything, but some of the stuff that felt kind of flat, I think just kind of held the movie back from what it could have possibly been. But when people say that, that this is like a good video game movie, I could agree with that. Like there's nothing bad about it. I think it plays it safe. I think it exists. I think most people can watch this, which is really good and it stays faithful. That's a hard thing to do.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time when people take a video game and they try and turn it into a movie, they're like, we need everybody to watch this. So we're going to make our movie, but we're going to dress up the characters in our movie like characters from your video game and call our movie your video game brand name to fucking trick you into fucking watching our movie. And this movie doesn't do that. This movie goes, hey, we like Sonic. You guys like Sonic. How do we bring Sonic into the real world? Okay, well, this is our idea. So what's the problem? And how do we bring Robotnik into that equation? Okay, this is how they do that. And I think they nailed Sonic. Mm-hmm. I think they did a really good job. The new redesign, specifically in the movie and the way he moves, like I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Every once in a while he'll do like a little floss move, which is a little outdated at this point. It's not as big as it used to be, but I love it. Yeah. Watching his little fucking Sonic go.
You know what though? Like his whole character is
funny.
Kind of out of touch, anyways, in the movie. So like,
what do you mean?
Well, just like he doesn't know anything.
Well, yeah, because he's
in podunk nowhere,
and he's living in a cave and shit. Yeah. So yeah, he's kind of a dork on his own because he's not really part of society and shit. So that's a good point. But I liked everything about him. I think his name's Ben Schwartz or whatever playing him. He did a good job. He sounded like him. I think they did a good job.
They got the attitude right.
I think they did a good job of like making him kind of funny, childlike because he is a kid in this. Kind of cocky, but also like likable. He's not like a complete dick. I liked him as a character. In fact, like the movie surrounding him, that's where I think the weakness comes from because I really like what they did with Sonic, like a lot.
Super reminiscent of Detective Pikachu in that regard.
100%. Yeah, the weakest part of that was like the story. Outside of that, all the Pokemon and shit, and
great.
Was awesome. Yeah. So, and this is really, really a cool thing happening right now because I've been telling people for fucking years, over 10 years at this point, way over. People are like, you can't make a good video game movie. You can't. Well, why can't you? Those are fucking stories. They were just interactive. Stories can translate to fucking any medium. And they're like, well, you're just not playing it. Yeah, no shit. But the story still existed and people still like that and still like the fucking characters. That can go to a movie. I'm ranting at this point. So recently we're starting to get video game movies that don't necessarily copy, which no one said that's what you need to do. The original source material, but it respects it. And that's what fucking matters. Mm-hmm. Because when a video game fan goes to a movie based off a video game, it's because they're passionate about that fucking video game. Not because they want to be tricked by fucking iconography of it. And then, of course, you got to get other people to watch it too. So just make a good fucking story. Word of mouth will sell that shit. Like, I still think, bring up BioShock again. BioShock would make a fantastic fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
Series. It'd make a fan. Get somebody, get Denis Villeneuve to fucking.
I say you need a wild mind for that one. But
get Denis Villeneuve to fucking direct BioShock, and it would be sick. Get Christopher Nolan direct fucking BioShock. It'd be sick. I guarantee those movies would be good. He wouldn't fuck those up. So it really matters who you get to do it. Anyway, the people that made this respected at least Sonic for sure. I really specifically, they did the original design. They listened, which is crazy because I have mixed feelings on that, but this was for the better. This is for the better, 100%. I like the way he looks. I had no complaints. But the other things in the movie, the characters he interacts with, they're all fine. They're all passable, just like this movie. But I feel like this movie's setting up something that could potentially be really cool. I won't go into any of the details, but like the way the movie ends and stuff, I'm like, we could get a better movie after this. Mm-hmm. And this movie's already okay. I already liked it.
Sure.
I already liked it. If it can get better, awesome. Yeah. We're moving forward. But kind of wrapping around what I've been fucking babbling about is we're finally getting good video game movies. And I've been saying that they used to say comic book movies sucked all the time.
Yeah.
And now what's the biggest thing? And I fucking hate that they're like the only big movies nowadays, and they're good, but comic book movies went from like a joke to like the biggest thing in fucking Hollywood now.
Yeah.
Every fucking old actor nowadays wants to get in a fucking comic book movie now because that's where the money's at. That's where the big fucking numbers are. That's where the $1 billion, in sales is at. All that shit is just easily done through comic book movies. But they had a rough spot. There's some real shit comic book movies for like 30 years. So same thing with video games. It's going to be the same. I guarantee, I'm calling right now, it's the next frontier in fucking movies. Once they nail and understand how to make video game movies, they're gonna do the same thing as Marvel does. In fact, it was weird when we started up this movie. It had like a similar like Marvel thing where it showed all these Sega games being played, and then it zoomed out and said Sega original film, and I was like, or whatever the fuck, and I was like, that's weird to see.
It was weird.
Just like when we saw Detective Pikachu, it said Nintendo and shit, and I was like, this is so weird to be seeing this. Even though we had Nintendo, movies back in the day. Well, Mario, that's
Movie.
a shit show. And I was talking about this a little bit already, but Jim Carrey, I'm just glad to see him doing a comedic role again, because he's been like so depressing for the last like 8 years, just sitting around painting and bitching about politics and stuff. I'm just like, you used to be like a funny guy, and now you're just kind of like, we all have tried fucking a psychedelic here or there. Fucking, I get it. Like, he might have tried one in his like 50s and all of a sudden changed his mind. But I was like, dude, relax, just get back in the movies, have fun. And he did that in this. His character's a dickhead. He's playing Dr. Robotnik. I kept forgetting, like, he's the villain. He's got to be this asshole. He does a really good job. You really hate him.
Obnoxiously a dick.
But he's also goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
One thing I really liked about that, though, is it kind of plays into the end of the movie, which I don't want to talk about too much, where it's setting... You've seen the trailer, you see him, and you're kind of like, yeah, I kind of get the Dr. Robotnik thing. It goes somewhere that I feel like the next movie could really elaborate to a point where it's almost like this movie's an origin story for Jim Carrey's character.
Well, yeah, and essentially just, Sonic being a thing.
Yeah, it's like Sonic's existence is the spark that changes Jim Carrey or Dr. Robotnik as a character. It's really weird. I feel like that we're watching fucking Dr. Robotnik origins. And it just so happened his villain is Sonic.
Yeah, and what's kind of nice too is in the Sonic games, Robotnik, he's always kind of irritated, but when he's talking about like his robots, he's always got that big goofy smile on his face. Jim Carrey did that the whole movie.
Yeah, he's a complete dork. He's like, I'm the smartest person on the fucking planet, so that means everybody else is
These
stupid.
are my toys.
And then he's like, I love robots, and eventually they're going to take over and everything. Like, he's so into them and shit.
Yeah.
So you can see, potentially, again, I'd love to talk about this more in detail, but if they do it right, the next movie, I think you'd get a more authentic Dr. Robotnik that you would expect from the games, while this movie kind of set up pre-Robotnik. Before he goes like full crazy and shit. So at first I was like, I can kind of get behind Jim Carrey. He's having fun. I'm having fun watching him. His dance moves are fucking funny. I haven't seen him be as animated since like the Grinch and shit, which has been a grip. So it's cool to see. But then by the end I was like, this could do something. I get it. This is kind of cool. So all in all, I liked the movie. Like I said, James Marsden, I think that's his name. He's fine. He's passable. The guy who essentially is escorting Sonic around. I think anyone could have played his character, but he did fine. I'm not trying to talk shit about him. And I
will also say the acting is less awkward in this than Detective 100%. Pikachu. Yeah.
No, this had like pro actors in it.
Yeah.
They all they did as well as the script allowed. And Jim Carrey's out acting anyone in Detective Pikachu. But the guy who played Sonic out acted. I think he did fine. He played Sonic, and I was like, I believe that. I believe that's Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a huge compliment. They nailed it. We all know the beginning of where the negative hype came from with this movie, and now I'm coming to you saying like they nailed him. They got Sonic.
It's Sonic.
It's Sonic. It's cool. There's also a really cool homage to Sonic and the movie. I'm not going to talk about too much in the credits that I really enjoyed.
That was fun.
It feels like a passion project, and it's really neat. Like I didn't feel like some executives in Hollywood just were like, let's make money off Sonic, because they could have done that a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
So it's like someone had a cool idea. Sega's like, yeah, do it, and they did it, and I think they did a good job. And I want a sequel. I will watch a sequel, unless they do something weird with that one as well. But so far they've listened to people, and I think it benefited them. So all in all, I liked it. If I was going to grade it, I'd give it a B-. I
was going to go B.
B?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. I do want more though.
It's a strong
which
B-.
I think is important.
Yeah.
It does. It just, like I said earlier, it gives me that origin story vibe, which is never like an exciting thing for me.
Yeah.
But it is necessary, obviously.
And it's also necessary for people who don't know anything about
Sonic. And that's what I'm saying. It's necessary.
Yeah.
That's not for me or you or probably most of you watching. But it is necessary for people who are just going to see a movie with the family. They got to know who he is, where he comes from, like why he is the way he is. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I think the movie's clever in a lot of ways too.
Oh yeah, and the Easter eggs, like we kind of brought up earlier,
Constantly, we were on the way back in the
constant.
car. We were talking about all the things that are like, oh, he's tapping his foot. The rings are being used in a way that you don't really think about too much when you play Sonic, but then they use it in the movie, and you're like, he does that in the games.
Yeah.
So it makes complete sense. The chili dogs, fucking all sorts of shit that just goes like, hey guys, we also fucking played the games. We also watched the cartoons.
Even the way boss fights work.
Yeah.
I'll just put that in there too.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Yeah, there's all these things that like it's just all the winks and nods I really appreciate because they're coming from people who aren't bullshitting us. It's very cool. But just realize we got to make this for everybody, not just for the Sonic fans.
For sure.
So, I do think that they could have made like a full CGI Sonic, the exact same style. The movie does. You can see in the trailer starts out in a CGI world, and it looks good. Looks really good.
It does look really good.
But the movie also sets itself up to not be held specifically just on Earth, so they can do whatever they want with it. So, it's a good start point
for sure.
So they nailed it. So B minus, B. I almost said B plus, B.
Yeah.
So
the credits roll. We'll stick around for a little bit, scene, and then credits with a black background. You can leave. So
yeah, there's after credits. There's two things kind of happen at the end that really
you should stick around for.
I saw both those things. I'm like, I'm ready for the sequel.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I got excited seeing that shit, but I'm a big Sonic fan from like the old days, not like the new.
Well, that was our console growing up.
Yeah,
so
for sure. So
Genesis.
so this was just really fun for me to enjoy Sonic as a character for the most part. In the story that was okay, but like just seeing him and them nailing it, it's like I like this. I can definitely get a sequel from this, and I would definitely like to see what they do with the ideas that they're proposing at the end of this. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No, that was a long conversation I expected.
Yeah.
So
Let us know in the comments. Have you seen Sonic? Have you not seen it? Are you planning on seeing it? What do you think about it being the highest grossing video game movie? That's fucking huge, guys. Not even if you don't care about this movie, but if you want good video game movies, we got to support the good ones so that Hollywood knows, hey, people appreciate when we give a fuck. We've gotten 2 recently. It's only going to get better from here. So let me know what you think about this. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please no spoilers. And, yeah, let us know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Sonic, the movie, in the comments below. First thing we're going to talk about, and by first I mean third thing, is Final Fantasy VII Remake opening movie. Now, this came out. I watched it, and I almost cried watching it. You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
He was waiting to react to it,
Yeah.
and I was bad, and I was like, I can't wait, and I watched it, and I'm not joking. I legit almost cried watching this shit. The nostalgia is fucking... We'll watch it. But yeah, we should have covered it. We didn't. So we're doing that now. We're a little late. We're 2 days late. It's not that big a deal. And yeah.
You know, everything takes forever on the internet for people. Oh, you didn't do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Our community fucking knows how it works around here. Yeah. There's like, yeah, we'll get it on the weekend. But always, as always, if there's something you want us to cover, let us know in the comments or in the Discord link down below. Anything you want to say on this before we jump into this?
I'm looking for. I brought this up before, but in case you're tuning in kind of more recently, I took a week off to play this when it comes out, so like I'm very excited to play this.
Yeah, and I'm taking a week off for Cyberpunk, so we're gonna get some full coverage on both those games. Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. Get ready for this fucking music.
Okay.
Get ready for this fucking music. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
No, maybe not.
There it goes. Apologies. I don't know how loud this is going to be. The logo, dude. What is fucking... Oh, God. Okay, I got that. So much childhood nostalgia today for me, man. It's just fucking... I already got chills. I fucking love the style.
I, it is so good looking.
Yeah. It's incredible looking. I'm going to use a big word. All right, Jeremy, this might be my game of the year. We'll find out. Yep.
Ooh, that's a good transition.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh man, that was well done.
Dude, it's so fucking good. They just nailed it.
This is so wild to see this.
It's amazing to see this iconic ass fucking opening rendered in these graphics. Ugh. And the detail of the Loveless thing. The sign. Oh, I love it.
Straight to the train.
It's so perfect. It's so good looking.
Get down here, Merc.
They're doing it, man. They're fucking nailing it.
Yeah. No, that's I don't even know what to say.
Dude, yeah. Even watching it a second time, I'm just kind of speechless because it's just like, well, there's something that's like really fucking kind of crazy with this. It's like, obviously Final Fantasy VII's awesome, but it's so legendary, but also a lot of us at our age played the shit at like a time where like just like that perfect time in, like when we're growing up, that like it's got that nostalgia factor that like I have like such a deep love for this fucking game.
Right.
And they're doing it so faithfully that like my hype for it's like bigger than just like a new exciting game. It's just like justice being done to something.
Yeah, I mean 1997, man. I
Yep.
mean yeah, that was absolutely amazing. I got such like, not even just like Final Fantasy VII intro vibes, but they also like right there in the beginning, it kind of had like, it felt like Advent Children as
Yep.
well, which was really cool because obviously that is connected to
And
the
it looks
story at
better
this
than
point.
Advent Children, which is fucking crazy.
Midgard is just so realized.
Yeah.
Because I already felt that way when I watched Advent Children. I was like, oh wow, look at Midgard, and now
Oh, yeah.
even more so, these densely packed streets with all the activity going along, the vehicles that just completely fit with it, like everything. This looks completely realized.
Yeah. It's
Nothing
incredible
looks
looking.
tacked on.
Yeah. Speaking about them caring about Sonic earlier, the team working on this isn't like the B team who's like, I guess we're going to remake the game. This is people going like, we are redefining Final Fantasy VII as a game and fully realizing it. Because like that, like you said in the very beginning when showing the world, like during the day, Midgard, like it looks like a fucking living, breathing city
Yeah.
full of people.
No, it's nuts.
But
And
it's
then
also, I love the beginning where it's like kind of out in the fucking middle of nowhere, and then you come into that city, and it's like this dystopian fucking dirty ass place.
when you leave Midgard, it is that though. It's
Yeah.
that brown
Yep.
forever.
It's just a cool contrast of like flying from out there into the city that's sprawling, and then night having a completely different feeling, and the music too, turning into the original iconic fucking scene with Aerith.
Well, and the brown's kind of important too, because even in the original game, when you are in Aerith's church, and she says it's the only place the flowers grow, they even kind of show there on the street corner the dead flower. I don't know. There's the details crazy. I'm just so ready to play this. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's right around the corner. Yeah, I can't really express the feeling I get seeing this, because it's like if Hideo Kojima like redid like Metal Gear Solid or something like that. It's like not if anybody did it, just the right people did it.
Yeah.
And it seems like the right people are doing this, and it's just awesome. It's just a great. It's not even just awesome because they redid it and the graphics are better, but like they nailed the music transition. They nailed the fucking the cinematography. They nailed the character models. They nailed the fucking feeling of a game that does not look like this when it originally came out.
No.
This feels like that game.
Yeah.
And they look worlds apart
For sure.
in their graphics, but this still feels authentic to what that game looked like and how that game felt, which is crazy because that was made in the fucking 90s. It's really hard to replicate feelings of an era when you're not in the era anymore. So just the authenticity is through the fucking roof. And it's even that shot where it's like panning out from fucking Midgard and you're getting that whole, I keep using the word iconic, but like what's a more iconic game than Final Fantasy VII? When you get that shot of Midgard at night and it affects this Final Fantasy VII, it's just like as soon as that fucking hits, dude, I'm just like, oh my god, dude, this is real. Like I can't wait for it. Oh god, it's hard to fucking put into words, and you guys know I can talk for fucking days, but like,
Yeah, I'm kind of stumped right now because I'm still just like
processing it.
thinking about it, and I'm probably gonna end up watching it a couple more times after this.
You have to, yeah.
As anyone who's talked to me in Discord, anytime a trailer for something pops out that I'm interested in, I usually watch it like, I don't know, 10 times. So
Yeah. All right, fuck it. Let's watch it one more time right now.
sure.
If I can get it to go.
Damn you.
We normally
YouTube.
don't do this on TastyCast, but we're not really doing it justice. Also, fucking Cloud on top of the train, just like in the fucking original one, being just a badass, and then like
I kept
everyone-
waiting for the flip, and then yeah,
he does it.
Yeah, it was at the end. Yeah,
I saw that. I was like, fuck yeah. I didn't know if they're gonna do that or not. Hopefully, I remember to put the video up here again. Otherwise, they're just gonna watch us staring at a screen.
I should hopefully be able to be a little more vocal this second time. I was too busy.
I was luckily alone in my room,
Yeah.
so I could weep on my own, just in sheer fucking happiness. The music, dude, just fucking sets the tone. It's so perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
It's-
be buying the soundtrack. So
Dude, that's like when we went to the room before we played this at E3. They had like the music playing through speakers while we're waiting, and I was just listening to like the orchestral score. I was just like, oh my god, dude, this is real. Like it sounds so good. That's one thing about Sonic that's kind of cool too. Is one of the songs from Sonic was played on piano. I
Yeah.
fucking loved that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just, and I'm sure anyone who's seen Advent Children will get this, but like Advent Children was like this really great realization,
World building of
way past Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
The game itself's release, that they took the way that game looked and made it look that way. This game definitely took that style still,
expanded it,
and just made it way
which is
better.
awesome because now it feels all connected.
Yeah.
It's really cool. That right there is so fucking cool.
I actually kind of hope throughout the games that we get to play through the Advent Children story.
That'd be fucking
That'd be really cool, but we'll see.
That'd be a crazy, like, I mean, you're calling now. If that happens, that'd be an awesome way to get another game.
Yeah.
Just remake Advent Children while you're remaking Final Fantasy VII. Remake those fucking the
Before Crisis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remake that too. Just make Final Fantasy VII the story. That'd be fucking crazy. What's a more iconic fucking scene than that music with Aerith fucking in the ding?
You know what the worst part is too? Anyone who's played the game is gonna know this, but you see this like beautifully rendered Aerith, and you see the Avalanche members, and you're just like,
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Anytime you see any of them alive,
sorry.
dude, the game's been out, man. It's just tragedy inbound, man.
God, yeah. It's gonna be gut wrenching a second time. The worst part is the Avalanche stuff is gonna be way more impactful now.
Yeah, 100%. It's all gonna be more impactful. They're gonna be able to do it all better. If they don't nail it, that's gonna suck, because they have everything they need to fucking make it better.
I mean, look at the background.
That's
Still
what
alive.
I was gonna say, dude. It looks so good. Like, it just looks realized.
While having like the bokeh effect essentially on her. And
Yep. All the soft lighting and stuff, fantastic, dude. I love it. Literally though, like the first time this logo popped up, I was just like, I almost lost my fucking mind. I don't know why. Just the music, just going, it's real, baby. Like fucking, it's coming. The hype just hit so hard.
Yeah.
Seeing all the reactors and shit, like it's just like awesome.
God, look at it.
Yeah, it's so cool. I can't get sick of that.
And we've kind of said this before too, even just like when we talk about 14, but like just Final Fantasy as a brand, the music is always such a big part of it.
Yep, with Final Fantasy, you're gonna get sparkly, shiny stuff, and I mean that in effects and fantastic music.
Yeah.
I would say
And
some kind of Shakespearean tragic
Usually
romance.
get some pretty dark stuff in there, yeah.
Because they're real big on people having reasons to be really upset.
Yeah.
That character model looks fucking great.
Yeah, it's for a random grunt.
Yeah, just the lighting on his back and shit, like it's just.
Get him.
That's a fucked up way to.
Also, we're going to be able to tell she's a girl.
Yeah. Well, there's people when it first got shown, they're like, "What the fuck? They changed her," and it's like, unless you didn't look into it, fucking, it's always been kind of the case.
Yeah. I'll say
just
the way
hard to
she
tell.
talks to you in 7, yeah, you're.
Well, I remember when I was younger, some people assumed that was a dude and that he was gay or something too. So, which could have been the case, but it's just funny how much, just like Mako, like how much people had it wrong, you know.
Well, I mean, you got what you were able to absorb at the time, though, you know. So, God, that was amazing because that's obviously the opening of the game, and then between that and like the last trailer they released, God, the game is so fucking beautiful, man.
Mm-hmm.
It drives me crazy.
I'm glad they're just bringing out the big guns and going like, this is gonna be like, it's gonna be a fantastic looking game.
No, dude, there's not very many people making, Japanese role-playing games specifically, but just in general games that
To the
look
level that
like
Final
that.
Fantasy typically brings, though, like most of them don't, if they do exist.
Also, that game is so just like technically like great looking.
It's AAA as fuck.
Yeah.
Even when Final Fantasy 15 came out, and that had a long, crazy development cycle. So I can
wonderful scenes though, but yeah.
It does for sure, but sometimes the game can look a little grainy and pixelated, and not pixelated, but like it looks the edges aren't smooth. It doesn't look like that. And of course, that's a newer game, but it doesn't even look like it's trying to look that good. It's kind of like, I think they used Unreal Engine on that game. No, they didn't.
No.
I'm thinking of something else. I think
they had
Kingdom Hearts.
That was Kingdom Hearts.
That's yeah. I knew they did something.
I think it's called the Luminous engine.
Yeah.
Correct. If you know, just put it in the comments below. But I know that game went through 2 engines. So.
Yeah, for sure. After I said, I was like, wait, no, that was the big thing about the development is that they switched that up. Yeah. But it was Kingdom Hearts they switched to Unreal. Because I was gonna say maybe they didn't know how to use Unreal very well, but Kingdom Hearts looks great. And it does look good, but every once in a while I'd look at stuff and I'm like, this game could look better. Yeah. But I think it's because they're dabbling with an open world game and they're trying new ideas and shit, so they had to lower some technical aspects.
Of development.
But that game makes me forget it completely because that game looks on par with every single fucking one of the best looking games right now.
Yeah,
it's fantastic looking.
Yeah, I'm also hoping that they're gonna future proof this and have a PS5 like graphics quality option.
So. 100%, yeah. That they gotta be putting that into the games right now,
fucking
and having
so,
like
man.
a fucking thing that if it's just like the Pro.
Yeah.
They already put it into the Pro games or games in general, PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
If you have the higher end, it'll go, hey, you have options now. I could see them doing the same thing with PS5.
Yeah.
And just going like, oh, you're on PS5, we can boost these fucking graphics up higher, or at least smooth out these frame rates so you're not having issues at all, and blah 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 blah. But because that game looks really really fucking good. But all in all, that opening movie, I mean, all the things I've seen and what I've played has got my hype up. For some reason, that fucking trailer resonates with me so hard, though. It just makes it feel like I am getting Final Fantasy VII, and it's gonna be that story that I fucking love, and they are super faithful to the music, to the cinematography, to making it bigger and better than ever, and that just right there from beginning to end, the whole sequence just made me go, fuck, dude, the cinematics are gonna be so good in this game.
Yeah. And really my only concern, and it can't be quelled until we play the game, is how are they fitting the story they are fitting into a full game experience. So
yeah. Well, there's pictures shown recently of like them like in towns and stuff like that, just walking around talking random stuff, and I'm like, this is something we're not seeing a whole lot of gameplay wise, which we don't need to. I actually at this point I don't need to see any more of the game at all.
I agree. And they keep giving it to us anyways.
I'm already sold. I've been sold, but now I'm fucking like I need it.
Yeah.
Like bad. And but then I see a picture like that, I'm like, oh, there's some of that like in-game, because we're seeing all the main sequences, but what's in between that is what I'm curious about.
And all the gameplay. Yeah.
Exactly.
April.
Yep. Pretty much right around the corner.
Yeah.
A little over a month. Like 2 months.
About a month and a half.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else you want to say on it?
I've gushed enough over episodes and episodes of this.
Yeah, we could keep talking about this.
Yeah. I am we'll be doing a video. I bought the Soldier First Class edition or whatever. We'll do an unboxing so you guys will get to see what's inside of that. So not only do I have to wait to play it, but I'm doing it, so you guys can check it out. So.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be doing the Cyberpunk one, so which I'm excited for as well. So let us know in the comments how amazing is this opening. Let us know what you think of it. And is there anything that you anything you noticed? I'm trying to fucking still get my words together. Anything you noticed in the trailer that we didn't notice? Anything you want to point out? Let us know in the comments. And how excited are you? Are you somebody who's not really excited for this? Maybe you haven't played the one in the past, or you don't know much about it, and you're like, I don't get what the hype is. Leave us a comment. Let us know everything you think about when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake and its opening movie. Next thing we are going to watch is Tom Clancy, The Division 2 Warlords of New York official gameplay walkthrough. This was shown on an official stream recently. I believe it was February 11th. So kind of recent. It was that long ago. This Month is fucking flying by. Holy shit. Anyway, they announced that Warlords of New York is a new expansion for the Division 2, and it is going to have level increases and all the stuff that you would expect. We're going to watch this video and get a taste of what it is. I've already seen this one as well, but I want you to watch it. I've been playing Division 2 lately, so it is relevant to me and might pull some people back in who have played it in the past. Anything you want to say on this before we watch it? It's not Final Fantasy VII.
I'll say I almost feel like the order was wrong here.
I wanted to get into Final Fantasy VII first, so anybody who's watching this video for that had less video to have to click through.
For me, though, this is going to be harder, but go ahead.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, and go.
Welcome to New York. I'm Drew Reckner, Associate Game Director on the Division 2. This is a gameplay walkthrough of Warlords of New York, our new expansion introducing a new
I actually watched the
area
stream
to
as it
world
happened,
of
and the
Division
amount
2.
of people in the comments as the stream was happening
Spoiling our narrative-driven campaign,
bitching that
some parts
Ubisoft's
of the
going to want
video
money for
are
this
edited out.
blew my mind. So many people were like, you want my money
Aaron
for this? And I'm
Keener has
like,
been spreading
it's an
chaos here in New York,
expansion? Like,
creating a
but
world where the
they're giving it out
strongest
for
will
free.
rule. To reach Keener,
So much
we must
self-entitlement.
go for his followers first. The hunt has just started.
Parnell was an RPA pilot before he went rogue, so he knows drones inside and out. Rhodes told us that the Peacekeepers and Two Bridges have been tracking cleaner movements for the past few days. This is our best bet to learning more about Conley.
Vivian Conley, former First Wave Division agent. She went rogue, losing faith in the Division at the worst of the collapse. She joined the Cleaners soon after, and her chemical expertise had made them deadlier than ever.
Here comes the best part.
This is Haven, our new base of operations here in New York. It was founded a few months back by first responders and civilian volunteers who call themselves the Peacekeepers. They have everything they need in here: security, food, supplies.
On a dark note, every time I hear about coronavirus, or now as it's officially named the COVID-19 virus, I always think of the Division.
But to them,
Like, this shit
we are yet
happened in the
another group of
Division.
troublemakers. We will have to earn their trust
Oh.
back.
Game of the year.
Yep. That's a beefy dog, too. That's a beefy pup. Beef pup.
They're just trying to get on that Twitter account.
Pretty much. I just like how there was a thing for like a year or two where if there's a dog in the game, people are like, why can't you pet it? And everybody's like, and now it's like, it's just got to make sure it's in the game. There's a dog, you need to be able to interact with it. People are like, why can't the dog ride in the car? It's like, they're like, we'll fix that.
Unbelievable. We're right back in the same goddamn mess we were in when Amherst unleashed green poison. I set up Haven without the Division and all the blood and violence you bring with you. And Faye, she's been flag waving from behind the authority of a Division badge for way too long. Don't make me regret letting you into my home. I won't forgive it.
All right.
You don't like the Division?
Keener is putting a lot of pressure on the people of New York. They are on the edge, but these are the people you are fighting for. These civilians need to be given a chance to be safe and decide what comes next by themselves.
I was playing Division 2
We have been informed
recently.
of a
I forgot how
confrontation between
experimental
the
that
Rikers, known
soundtrack
for
is.
attacking any kind of law
It's so
enforcement,
weird. I like
and
it a
the
lot, but
peacekeepers
it's
at a
not
nearby
what you would
outpost in
expect
the Two
musically
Bridges
for a
area.
game like that.
This could be a lead to our next
So it's
target.
French guys.
Vivian Conley.
I typically like what they
Bridges
do.
was one of the areas that held out the longest after the outbreak. Many of the locals refused to leave their homes and move into Sarah camps. They tried to set up neighborhood community centers rather than relying on the government.
I don't know if there was cats in the
Most
last
of them didn't
area.
make it.
Yeah, there was.
With the cleaners and
I know
the
there's
other
the
factions
raccoons that'll
wreaking
like
havoc in
shove
the
their
area,
fat
it
ass
was
under the
never
fucking
fully sustainable.
There's a couple
car.
animals, yeah.
There's deer that run at me all the time. I'll be coming around a corner and a deer just comes running at me. I'm like, what the fuck? It happens all the time. Out of the bushes. They're always running right at you.
Cats are a little harder to see, but they're
Oh no,
okay.
we ran into one before,
Yeah.
yeah. Because we both hadn't seen one for like hours of the game, and then we saw one on the street. We're like, is that a fucking
I've got
cat?
reports that the Peacekeepers are trying to take a Rikers control point. Give them a hand. See See what you can find out from them.
By the way, I don't know if this sale's still going
There will
on,
be
but this
new
game was
weapons and
$3
tools to play
recently.
with, and one of the old favorites,
So,
the sticky bomb,
check
has
that
been
out if you're
brought
curious
back.
about
It
buying
latches
the
to
original.
surfaces and enemies alike. You can detonate it at the perfect time, providing new tactical opportunities in combat.
I want to know who at Ubisoft was like, fucking, how do we sell Division 2 to everybody for this expansion? $3? Okay.
I also saw that Chris and his brother were playing on PC today.
This? Mm-hmm. I thought about picking it up on PC, but I've played it so much on PS4 that I don't really want to. Although I played the beta on PC and it was great looking. There's a huge difference between the PS4 and the PC graphically when it comes to this game.
Warlords of New York is also introducing a host of overall changes to UI and gear systems. Our goal is to ensure that gear and weapons have clearer intended roles, allowing easier decision making. You can see right away how much an item can help you optimize your gear later.
Rhodes told us you're looking for a rogue agent working with the cleaners. Yeah, we've seen her. She's sneaky, but still seems to go out on missions with the rest of the guys. Check in with the community near here. They're keeping track of the latest news.
Sounds like Conley's been busy.
Head to the community and see what they've found. We're getting warmer.
This is such an Ubisoft demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
We have skipped some of the steps of our manhunt. As this is a main mission, we could complete it on our own, just like the rest of the game. But playing with friends can also be fun. For this last push, let's welcome another agent into our game and work together to take down Conley.
I just got an emo where fucking you have gold, like dust in your hand, you go like that. And it's go like that fucking
Yeah.
gif, that meme.
The confetti or whatever.
Yeah, I ran up to Josh and he's like,
Hurricane hit New
"Ew."
York harder than any other city
He's
in
ran
the
past me.
US. The city was flooded, blocking roads and collapsing bridges, all bringing the already quarantined city into a total state of chaos.
Yeah, so not only are we returning to New York, but the snow's gone, so the map's going to look completely different. It's going to be more cluttered like Division 2. But also,
This
that event
massive
happened,
tanker
so
has
things got
crashed onto the
destroyed and
shore,
everything's
creating
changed.
an oil spill. Cleaners are harvesting it with the help of Vivian Conley to fuel their weapons.
Shit! Fucking oil gas! Somebody's gotta fix those cooling pumps! Fuck! Pull me out!
Hopefully they fix the audio problems with this expansion, because there's a bunch of audio problems that I don't remember existing when I played it last.
It's like what?
Everything. Sometimes you only hear footsteps, sometimes you only hear gunshots, sometimes you don't hear gunshots at all, but you see you're shooting people. Sometimes, I'm not joking, I looked to the east and my music was playing, and I looked to the west and it would shut off.
Oh, weird.
I'd look to the east and turn back on, and I'd look to the west and it'd turn off. So I'm assuming there's some kind of streaming audio that happens in the game that isn't getting the right activations.
Huh.
Or something. That's my speculation. But it's pretty constant. Something's happening randomly.
That would keep the install down if they weren't putting a bunch of audio files on there.
There's
but-
just something going on with it. Well, I mean, like streaming in the sense of like graphic streaming. Whatever behind you isn't there anymore.
Yeah, I got you.
So I think it might have like, to make the game run better, maybe like audio that's not being used. But then it's like, oh, you're doing this, so I better turn the audio on or something. I don't know how they do audio tracks, but
Fighting indoors is more
having
challenging.
it's had
but
problems
different enemies
playing.
have different weak points you can use to your advantage. We have fought our way through the ship. This is it. We are close to Conley. It's on you now, Agent. Good luck.
Here you are, like a moth to the flame. You really have no idea what you're doing. The cause we're compromising right now.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So they're changing the way gear works. They want to be a lot more obvious on what the purpose for it is. They want to make it exciting again. They're making the UI cleaner. They're bringing you back to New York in a different time period further in the story. So you'll be running around there. They're upping the level cap from 30 to 40. They're adding new gear, new weapons, new perks, specializations, I'm assuming. That's my assumption. I haven't heard that, but I would assume so because there's already, I think, like 6 specializations now. There's 3 when we were playing. Then they added 1, and then they added like more. So there might be 6 or 7. It's weird. So it's like a flamethrower and a fucking rocket launcher and a minigun and all sorts of weird shit. But yeah, what did we think of the trailer? That info and yeah, it's not Final Fantasy VII.
No, the trailer was okay. It was very much kind of what I expected it to be when it comes to Ubisoft. I was a little disappointed because they did they kind of briefly touched up on some of the information, but I don't really feel like they really dug into it as much as we're just showing us a mission.
Yeah.
Which I mean is fine and all, but I don't know, someone who usually wants the information, you know, when watching stuff, I kind of left that feeling still kind of hungry to know what all the changes were. You kind of rambled a bunch of them off, and I was like, I didn't really get a whole lot of that there.
Yeah.
So
well, I watched the stream. The stream would have been a lot longer to watch.
For sure. So that being said, I'm really glad to see them continuing to support the game. I was starting to get worried when everyone started making the second version of their looter shooters.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing, you know, Division 2, Destiny 2, and even like to bring up Anthem going to their games and still working on them, which I think is a good sign instead of sitting there just pumping out these $60 games that have like these definitive ends that are going to happen. You know, if you're going to make the MMO experience, you got to do the support structure too. And they're doing that. It seems like they're taking feedback and doing
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like support Division 2, like you support Rainbow Six Siege, and just do it for a couple of years until you're like, we need a new thing to boost graphics, new systems, and the story is about to get crazy. Then make a sequel, but the game's already there. Just make it better. Expand on it. Well, give us another expansion after this.
Obviously, they're not like completely rebuilding, but they have completely adjusted and have changed the map up. But new locales is kind of a big thing when you're doing an expansion. Like MMOs do that. That's part of the selling.
I actually, if I'm being 100% honest, I don't mind the New York thing because technically it's a new map.
Yes,
it's the same location that you were at in the first game, but
they've messed with it. Obviously,
it's not going to be full of snow. It's not going to be the same places. They've changed it because they said that a storm happened or the fuck, and it changed. It tore down the bridge, and that oil tanker hit the shore and stuff. So that's a whole new location. It's going to be set in different time periods. So like I said, no snow, so you're going to get that clutter that you get in Division 2. Looks a lot better when it comes to the street clutter. So you get that here, and in the stream they're talking about how it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Recreation of New York for the part of New York you're in, not the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it is a new location. So I am 100% okay with it, but I also 100% would have preferred them do a different location.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset about it, but if it would have been like back to New York or somewhere else, I'd go somewhere else.
For sure. But
take it west, baby.
It is a step in the right direction, I think, because when you say expansion for games as service games, essentially, I think the thing that most people kind of expect is new features, new map, and sometimes like new classes or jobs or whatever your game is, like whatever their equivalent of a class is. Usually you want a new something there too, a new toy to play with, to experience. So, and it seems like they are giving a bunch of changes and stuff like that. I am obviously curious, how much content you're getting for the for the expansion? Like, are you getting a full 20, 30, 40 hour, story running through? What's the leveling process going to take? Is it going to feel slow? Like, this is their first foray into that. And I really, I think it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. So,
yeah. This is a game that I've enjoyed playing. I like it. I'm returning to it. I was returning to it before this got announced because I heard that they're re-gearing or retooling gear, which just reminds me of kind of like Warframe or even MMOs in general have a history of going like, oh, this is blah, blah, blah 2.0.
Shadowbringers did that.
Reworking stuff. Because if you're going to keep a game going, the weaker parts you need to make good. When people are like, I don't want to play that class, it sucks. You just keep it around and go, well, somebody likes it, or you go, we should rethink it. We didn't do it correctly.
Yeah.
Or like people are like, you know what? I just don't like using the bow and arrow because they're just not as powerful. And they're like, well, let's rework that. They're doing that with this, and that's a good sign. I mean, Ubisoft, I always talk about it. We always talk about it. They're not opposed to reworking their games completely. Sure. All their games, none of them are off the table. Reworking them after they launch to make sure people enjoy it. But this is their closest foray into MMO territory. So if any game deserves that, it's this game.
Yeah.
I heard nothing but good things about this game when it came out. Everyone I know who played it enjoyed it. Anyone who's not playing anymore doesn't dislike the game.
Yeah.
They just don't feel the pull to come back. All that tells me is there's room for improvement.
Yeah. There's
room to bring people back. And an expansion, I wasn't expecting an expansion. An expansion's a great reason to come back. So I hope they nail it. I'm enticed by the new location. I am enticed by new gear always. New skills. They're bringing some back from the first division, but they'll have some new ones. And 10 more levels is cool. It's respectable. I hope they slow down the progress through them, though, because you can fly up to 30 real fucking fast.
Well, and that was part of my thing. Like, how long is it going to take?
Exactly.
Are you going to like pay $40 for an expansion and like?
I'm sure they'll have an end game though.
Yeah.
Because that was something they tried hard. It wasn't an amazing end game, but like there's like 5 tiers of fucking world tiers right now, which will mean nothing once this comes out. But there's stuff to be done if you want to stay in the game.
Right.
It's just not necessary after you beat it. You don't have to, like, I never felt like I need to fucking keep going. I was just like, if I hop back in, I got shit to do.
For
which is
sure.
cool. So hopefully they do something that's like really addictive in this of like, you want to come back and get this really cool shit. They got to really work. And like I said, they already talked about, we get that when you need to get gear, you upgrade because you need to, but it's never exciting. I hope they can nail that because that is one thing Division is missing. The gameplay is awesome. I love playing it. I love taking cover and running around tactically and using tools and shit during combat, but I never pick up gear and go, fuck yeah. I'm just like, oh, nice, this is better, and I use it. It has a really good system, too, of knowing when you haven't gotten gear in a while, and you just so happen to get one. You're like, okay, nice. You're never like, God, it's been forever since I got anything new. But, yeah, there's never that instance where you fucking grab a new weapon or something like that and go, ooh, I can't wait to try this. That's something like, Borderlands does really well. You get a brand new gun, you're reading the description, like, what the fuck does it do? And you shoot it, does some crazy shit. Like,
Borderlands
whoa.
does ARPG looting, though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's something Division, it's got the gear. There's plenty of fucking guns and items in it, but it's all... I had this discussion with Psycho last night. I was talking about how leveling up in that game and getting new gear is similar to how phones have been for the last 4 years. Every new phone, there's not really any new features. The camera gets a little better, but all stats just go up. Yeah. And that's fine, but it's not exciting. That's why I still have the Note 8.
Yeah.
It's fine. It works great. I don't need to buy a new phone yet, although that new fucking S20 Ultra, where the fuck, looks pretty cool. I'll wait for the Note 20 Ultra. So yeah, it just kind of reminds me of that. So, sometimes I have a gun. I prefer how it shoots. I get a new gun that has better stats, and I don't like the way it shoots. I'm like, I'm not going to use that thing. So I stick with this. So that's all they got to retool, which they're going to do. So I'm excited for that. But all in all, I'm excited for it. I will be picking this up. I do like the Division 2. I want to support it because I think I want them to make it better because I like it. But, I'm with everybody else. I stopped playing it the same as everybody else. So,
yeah,
I'm stoked for it, though. I want to play it. And it's coming out fucking, when they say? Were we even paying attention to that?
No.
I think it's coming out next month. I feel like it's coming out next month.
Apparently I spaced out on that part.
It is it's in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's coming out very soon. Doesn't say. Fucking let us know in the comments because I'm not going to waste any more time on this. But I'm pretty sure they said like March 13th or some shit.
Huh.
So yeah, right around the corner, which is very, very cool. But yeah, all in all, stoked for it. And you sound optimistic.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like sold yet. But I'm not saying no either. Like, because I don't like you said, I don't like dislike the game. I enjoyed my time with it. You know, is it gonna have the draw essentially to make me want to come back? That really is where that comes into. And obviously, the more people I know playing it is going to be a huge factor in that as well. So,
If there's anything they could do to that game to make it better, what would it be? Not, you don't have to go into the whole thing, but like end game, gear.
I'm gonna say the same thing that I think a lot of MMOs lack, which is social features.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, because like
Social features would be huge.
Everyone can make gear progression and stuff like that, but like it's neat to have like things to do that aren't necessarily just grinding constantly. So maybe being able to like have your own hangout. Oh, it is really soon.
March 3rd, not 13th, so very soon.
I don't know. Yeah, being able to have it like a hangout for your crew essentially, and be able to like furnish it and stuff like that, which seems really silly, but at the same time, it gives like this group
You're working
objective
towards
to do,
something. Yeah.
and you kind of just have a place to hang out and do really silly things. Which, if you want people to stay in your game, it's nice to be able to like not necessarily always. You get burnt out doing the same thing. Over
That
and over
game
and over
is
again.
we were the embodiment of it last night. Josh, me, and Psycho. We were literally, because we're just trying to like fucking rush him to World Tier 1 or whatever. We were going from mission to mission, just fucking unloading on people, never stopping.
Yeah.
We're always in motion, running and killing and just fucking wiping out dudes. Because me and Josh, you know, are already a little higher level. It does scale it a bit, but we still have gear that just can't be scaled down for that. And we're just fucking unloading on everything, and it's fun because we're constantly progressing, but there's no downtime. There's no like chill factor. There's no hangout. And that's something I already complain about most games. But that game, it's just like, it's addictive in the sense of like, let's go. But yeah, I don't want to live in that game. I don't want to fucking hang out in it.
When we're playing PSO2, like having all those social features, listening to the devs like new ideas in Final Fantasy 14, they're adding more social stuff to the game. Like it's just something you got to have those systems in place, obviously, for people to play the game, and then you want to have reasons for people to stay in the game. And I think that's really the part that it's missing for me. Because like I said, I enjoy the game. I think it's fun. I have no desire to play it right now. So.
Oh, they're also adding seasons that will have unlocks and shit. So which
Makes
just seems to be the
That's what
way of
Destiny
everything.
does too, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I want to say too is there's a huge difference when you go into like a social area where you see other agents in Division 2, and it's just like some dark, dingy building, which is supposed to, if it's the aesthetic of the game. And other agents are just in their menus standing there, or they're overselling shit. And like a game that's 8 years old, PSO2, or any game that has good social features, when I'm waiting in the lobby, I'm not as bored because I'm looking around and there's people running around doing shit, and people are saying shit, and people are having conversations and stuff. Yeah. It's just more lively.
Even Monster Hunter, you can hang out in the hot springs and stuff like that. You know, it's got weird shit to do.
Whereas like a game like this, it's that moment where somebody's going through their shit and they're like, okay, hold on, I gotta sell some things. And you're like, okay. And you're not like, oh God, hurry up. But you're also just like, I guess I'll get on my phone.
You know what else though? I mean, it's real easy. I think you want to keep this grounded. Put dartboards in some of those places.
Sure.
Put a pool table or chess, board. There's all sorts of little mini games that people can just sit down and play with each other while you're in between missions.
Have like bars in the game. You're in the city.
It'd be really easy to get people to do something goofy because they're gonna make something out of that themselves. That's part of the playing a multiplayer game experience is making your own story.
That's one of the big things about Sea of Thieves I kept talking about. I was like, I want more social features. There's already plenty. I want more.
That's what's keeping you in that game for sure.
It's so important for these kind of games. Just because you want to, during that downtime, you want to just hang out in the game. It feels more like home that way.
You're hanging out with your buddies and occasionally like, hey, you want to do this mission real quick? Yeah, cool. You go do it, you come back, you're hanging out again. I mean,
that's one of the quintessential differences between like a cooperative single player game where you're like, okay, let's 2-man co-op this fucking level-based game, story-based game, and a faux MMO or an MMO where you're expected to live in this world. And spend hours and hours and hours being in it. Well, it's not as enticing when it is just the missions, which I'm not complaining, they're fun, but yeah, there just needs to be stuff to do. The emotes are cool though. Like that's one thing I think the Division 2 did really good is there's a lot of cosmetics and there's a lot of emotes to unlock.
That was the thing.
So it's a good step in the
Division
right direction.
1 was good about clothes though too. So I mean, they have great ideas. but nothing.
It's got to make it bigger, better.
Yeah, make me want to be there.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Anything else you want to say on that?
no.
All right, let us know in the comments what do you guys think about Warlords of New York, the expansion for the Division 2. Are you excited for it? Are you not excited for it? Are you potentially going to pick it up? Are you going to pick up Division 2 if it's still $3? That's a fucking, I'm telling you, that's a deal. The game is absolutely worth way more than $3. That's the price of buying like a couple energy drinks. I mean, like it's there's a lot of game there.
I don't think you can get 2 energy drinks for that.
Yeah, like 2 bangs is like $4.
Yeah,
or some shit. Well, where we're at. Yeah, let's know everything you think about it when it comes to Division 2 Warlords of New York. If you don't like it or you're not into it, let me know. What's the thing that's missing from the Division 2 or any of these games like Anthem, fucking Destiny 2, which has similar problems to this in the sense of staying power, and every other faux MMO that's not Phantasy Star Online. Let me know in the comments
or
below.
Monster Hunter.
Or Monster Hunter for sure. Yeah. All right. So we're moving into our comment segment where we take your guys' comments. You guys have commented in the last week and we read them. We talk about them. You're joining the conversation every week from now on. And if you want to make sure to be considered even extra considerably, make sure to type in hashtag AskTLG and I will prioritize putting you on the show because I can't read all the comments. So yeah, we're going to reflect a bit on the only 2 episodes this last week, which was very nice for me, editing wise. Which the first one was, what is this? Fucking Tasty Tuesday? Probably Tasty Tuesday. Or was this Tasty Cast? We talked about, oh yeah, it's Tasty Cast. I see me and you here, and I'm like, Chris isn't there. It must be Tasty Tuesday. In that episode, we talked about essentially is Phantasy Star Online 2 good? We played the beta and we went over that, and we also talked about your comments then and talked about game releases this month. And yeah, one of the comments we got was from Simon, 2 questions, Randall, who says, it clicked. I used to wonder, why does Seth look so familiar? Now I know you look like Ritz, musician, my dude. I looked this up. Ritz, he might be a great rapper. I don't know, but he kind of looks like a juggalo to me. So I took great offense to this, but Google him. Let me know what you think. He wears a beanie. He's got some hair. I get that part. The rest of it though, he's not as beautiful as me. He's probably a much better rapper though, so I'll give you that. To their credit though, Simon and Wade, they both say they like Ritz, so I don't think they're talking shit. He also says, totally expecting a response to this lengthy and thought out elaboration in one of your next videos. Well, you got it. You're getting a response. He actually, when he's not saying I look like Ritz, normally has those fucking multi-paragraphed responses.
He's
a lot
one
of times.
of the big responders.
Yeah, and I always really enjoy reading Simon's well thought out responses. The comment reaction segment seems pretty seamless, feels natural, and just, by the way, y'all keep it up if y'all want to. I want to, so we'll keep it up. Yeah. Anything you want to say to that?
I don't really know what I can say to the first part. I don't know who this Ritz is. Okay. So as far as like you enjoying this section, this is Seth's baby. So I'm sure he takes some pride in you enjoying that. So, and I think it's fun to do. So,
yeah. All right. Thank you for the comment. Keep commenting. We got Josh saying emergency because we were talking about emergency from PSO, and he's referencing this one time was it carbon monoxide or a smoke detector?
It's the carbon monoxide detector.
Yeah, I had one of those, and I was living alone at the time, and I didn't know that the thing you shouldn't do this, but we pulled the battery out so it doesn't go off randomly, and I pushed it back in on accident, and fucking it had primed it to do a test run, and I was in my room alone working on some shit, and all of a sudden just in the middle, and it's like late at night, so I was already kind of crazy and paranoid, and then randomly out in the front room I hear a guy go, emergency, get out of the house, and I fucking ran out of my room like, what the fuck is going on? Who said that? And then it's like, emergency, get out, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like trying to stop it, it's yelling at me, and I'm like, stop. It's very stressful, but emergency, that's when events happen in PSO 2.
Code fight.
Emergency. So yeah. Jeremy says, oh shit, I have to put more effort on my comments so you guys have no problem reading them, haha. And it's cool. I love this new segment on the show. Thank you. We love that you love this new segment, and your comments are fantastic. Only put more effort into them if you want. Stick had said, I was about to mention Wolcen as a game releasing this month, and that wasn't mentioned. This month, that wasn't mentioned, but I should have guessed that Seth already picked it up, because I do that. I'm glad that you're already aware of it, though. He also says, it does look really great, and I love the weight behind the attacks, at least visually. It is the closest thing I've seen so far in the RPG genre that gets close to Lost Ark visually, which I read recently we're not getting Lost Ark, which really is a bummer, because Jeremy kept telling me, we're going to get it. Don't worry, we're going to get it. I don't know if we're going to get it. So he makes a good point. This is actually something when you read the reviews on Steam, people are like, this is pretty much what Lost Ark should look like. It's like a really good looking RPG. I've also been playing Monster Hunter World with the PC Iceborne release. I will save my points for the Game of the Month discussion. We'll talk to you then. Awesome. I got Temtem the other day and have been playing it with a friend. Seth is right that everyone is an asshole in that world. If there's one thing I know real well, it's assholes. I'll keep it at that. However, the dialogue options show that the player character is a bit of an asshole too. Agreed. I typically go with the asshole route because I know
You kind of have to be.
Yeah. I don't like to play nice anymore. At first I was like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm just walking through here. And they're like, fucking Temtem up. I'm like, whoa. And then I have to fight them. And now they're like, hey, buddy. I'm like, okay, what do you want? And they're like, what are you doing? That doesn't matter. Just pull your Temtem out. Like, what are you talking about? Fucking just pull them out. We're going to fight. Shut the fuck up. Like, okay, let's do it. And like, we fucking know. It honestly has gotten a good laugh from my friend and I. We have been enjoying it quite a bit, and I will certainly never remember any of the Tems names since I always nickname them. 100% agreed. I had people watching my stream and they were like calling my Temtem by the names I'd named them, and I was like, that's not their names. Like, that's my names for them. Don't memorize those. Because soon the people who make Temtem were like, what the fuck are they calling this thing? Fucking Beardle?
Or Little Nug or whatever.
Little Nug, yeah. Like, we didn't name it that shit. Well, I watched it on a stream, and that's what the names were. We named it this. No, that name's not good. We're just going to stick with Beardle. For Final Fantasy XIV, I have been preparing for 5.2. I will have more to discuss later since I will be doing some 24-man raids that I missed from the previous expansions. Is he on our server or a different one?
Same data center.
Okay.
I added him to our link shell so he can chat with us.
Join us on Final Fantasy XIV. We're on Coral. Tasty Loot Gaming is our free company. You can join it. You can be our friend. Since one set is required for the Relic and the other set is in the Moogle event, I do look forward to the raids and story in 5.2, especially since Yoshi P said to prepare for long cutscenes in this patch. Also, I agree with Chevy that Seth should at least stream Shadowbringers all the way through. I'll take that in consideration. That's two of you that have said that. I don't have a problem streaming that game at all. It's actually a really easy game to stream. I'm just kind of worried I'm boring people, but apparently people who like the game are not bored. I'm excited for PSO2. I didn't get a chance to play the beta, honestly. I might have to wait until the Steam version of it. That's what I want. I want to play it on Steam.
I'm pretty sure it'll be the Windows Store, but yeah.
Is it?
I'm pretty positive it will be. Because
not Xbox?
It doesn't say PC. It says Windows 10 as one of the releases.
They say that sometimes, though. They said that with Forza, and it's on Xbox.
I hope so.
Because I don't think they do that anymore. Well, we'll find out. We'll fucking find out. We're not talking about the shit. I will likely play as a gunner or fighter. Both good picks. This has that multi-class system too, so you can get a little bit of both worlds if you want to play with both, which is kind of cool. So
it also has a active switch job whenever you want to system similar to Final Fantasy.
Which is awesome, yeah. So there's no pressure on like, you got to play this or that. And the game is easily like, you're like, I'm level 1 again. There's a lot of shit to go do. So the game is super playable. Anything you want to say on this? I kind of said as I went. Yeah.
The only comment I want to have, I actually had a really long discussion with him on Discord about Final Fantasy.
Link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all time.
You can go ahead and skip that part. The only part I wanted to comment on is when you were saying it was really easy game streaming. You might be boring people, and then will people play might be into it. It's the same as like when you're into a book and you want like someone to read that book.
Yeah, for sure. I can feel that. Just gameplay wise, if you're not into that game, it's gonna be a little hard to watch.
For sure, but
so you're gonna have to come and talk to me. I guess
I would say that's kind of a huge part. I think for most people, anyways, when they go to streamers, they're not generally. So they start with the game because it's an interest, but they're there for you. Yeah. So, and I think, I don't think you'd have a problem.
Until I have someone come in my stream and they're like, "Shut up, I'm watching the game." I'd be like, "Okay, well, you can go do that somewhere else, motherfucker. I'll see you later."
But talking to him, and I apologize for speaking for you, but He said that Shadowbringers is probably his favorite Final Fantasy, period. Which is a crazy statement.
I'm hearing that more regularly. It's just kind of weird. Maybe we'll get a remake of Final Fantasy 14.
A little early for that. And that already happened.
Up them graphics, baby. That is true.
Yeah.
They just remade the fucking game. So, yeah, I feel like I need to respond to this, but I pretty much did. So, yeah, PSO2, awesome. Make sure to play that on Steam. I can't wait to hear what you think of it.
It's fun.
And I will take into consideration streaming Shadowbringers, and I'm enjoying playing that as well. I can't be excited for 5.2, but I'm excited that you guys are excited, and I'm glad all my criticisms of Temtem are not being taken completely serious, and most people just agree with me. Because I was like, I like this game. I hope people aren't getting pissed that I'm talking shit about certain aspects of it, but it's really just funny to me because like I'm like, the names are shit. Luckily, they just let you name them, so I'm like, cool. And then all the NPCs are assholes, but it's like ridiculous. I mean, I'm not like, it's not like when I'm playing any Ubisoft game and every villain talks the same. They're all like, fuck you, Division, you fucking piece of shit, let's kill this prick. And I'm like, who talks like that? I talk like that when I'm jokingly making fun of people, and they legit talk like that. Do people in France fucking think bad guys talk like that? Let me know if you're French in the comments below. Not about the Division thing, just let me know if you're French. I like French people. And then Psycho Scream said, the only monetization I won't like about PSO2 is the skill tree reset ticket. You have to buy RMT, which I'm assuming is real money transaction. I agree. Is that confirmed?
I'm not sure.
If it is, I agree with you 100%. If it's not confirmed, I agree with you 100%. If they do that, it is shit. Because real money to do a skill reset, that feels like it should be in game. There's other things that can monetize. You don't agree?
I just don't think I care enough, and I think it's just because maybe growing up with games like Morrowind, where your choices were stuck on your character,
and you have to start like a new one.
Yeah.
The only reason I agree with you, I wouldn't be upset necessarily, but it's an online game, so it's different in the sense of like I don't know. It just feels different to me to like in a game like that. It's so much more standard to reset your skills, but that's a good point because I do like the idea of like, I don't know. Skill reset's different though than getting all the skills. My biggest problem with newer games is like your character can have every skill, and that gets boring to me because now I don't
That's why I specifically brought up Morrowind.
Yeah, and in Morrowind, like you had a specific build, and in Skyrim you could do everything, and but skill reset in that wouldn't bothered me.
Also,
too much.
what's the price going to be? Can you get the currency in game? Like
that's a good.
There's
point.
some questions here that I have because their monetization strategy in Japan, I doubt is translating over to us because we have a very different mentality when it comes to spending money on free-to-play games. South Korea and Japan are very okay with a lot of features we would scream about.
For culture, that's different.
Yeah. So we'll see. As far as like, at the end of the day, there's going to be a real money thing in that game because the game has to stay alive, right? If it's as simple as like, well, you want to fix, your skill tree, as long as it's not like this $20 purchase. I mean, I kind of get it, I guess.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I prefer.
How much is the need to?
Yeah, well, especially if the game doesn't even. If you can just level up every skill, eventually, if you keep playing, I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
because at that point, you should strategize a bit better. But I mean, I think Path of Exile does that, where you have to pay for a reset.
I think so, unless they change the tree, and then you get it for free.
And then you get it for free, which I've gotten that like fucking 8 times at the very least.
Yeah.
So it's not even a rare event. Anytime something new rolls out, they're like, redo the skill tree.
I think you could technically grind it out, but it's just like not even.
When you bring up a point too of like, if the currency is if you can get it within the game, then I wouldn't care.
Yeah. Because then there's a grind aspect.
Because I also don't want somebody resetting their skill tree every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Which some games allow you to like, oh, just pay $500.
Yeah.
And you just do it every time. Or I've been playing games recently that don't charge you anything at all. Like in game, you just hit a button, reset the whole thing, which is nice. It's convenient, but also it takes the risk of like building your skill set, which some people might not like that. I do. I like the learning aspect of.
I also like that because you're making your character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I agree. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody who commented on that video. Please keep commenting, and again, type in hashtag STLG if you want to be considered even further. Then we had Tasty Tuesday, where we talked about Blue Protocol, which me and you were both more into than we probably anticipated. And we also talked about Anthem 2.0, as they're calling it, which is essentially them rebuilding Anthem into a game that they think will be more fun for people to play. In that video, we got a couple comments, and two worth mentioning is, again, Stick saying, I am really excited for Blue Protocol. A few YouTubers I follow have been showing stuff on it. Once it comes out, I will be overwhelmed with MMOs having Final Fantasy 14, PSO2, and this. Also, I have never seen this trailer, and since I listened to these as audio only, I immediately noticed Sawano as the composer. He is primarily known for the Kill la Kill, Attack on Titan, and Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I love the Xenoblade Chronicles fucking soundtracks.
And I like Kill la Kill.
Yeah, so, and it's funny because when we watched that trailer, I loved the music.
Yeah.
So it's funny, we're both coming from different worlds
Yeah.
on this guy's music, and that trailer had good music. So I really appreciate that you bring up music, because I don't think enough people talk about music in games, and it's one of my favorite things. His style is definitely easy to pick out. The combat looks enjoyable with it being an action MMO. The only complaint I have seen, which isn't huge because it is still alpha, is the enemy variety isn't great right now, which is a pretty common complaint with some games and completely valid, but one I can overlook if the game's fun enough. But yeah, I do also appreciate games that have a good variety in enemies. He also says, I really hope Anthem can have its comeback, as it was a very disappointing game for me last year. I fortunately only paid for a month of EA access to play it. Good. I was annoyed that the story wasn't all that engaging, at least for the beginning. It makes me really worried for BioWare, since I haven't enjoyed one of their games since Mass Effect 2. That's a bummer. I haven't played. That's pretty common amongst a lot of people. Yeah, BioWare's been
I'm
fucking
kind
for
of
a while.
there.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
So
I haven't played. I just don't like to live in that, because I don't really have anything negative against BioWare. I just think they're going down the wrong path. They could fix it, but they're not doing like a Bethesda where they're just constantly fucking people over and just being completely unapologetic about it. I haven't played Mass Effect 3 yet, and Andromeda was extremely disappointing. For Dragon Age, I played Origins, which was fantastic, and 2 right before Inquisition came out. Once it did come out, I just didn't get into it as much as the previous 2, since it felt like the game required you to do MMO-style fetch quests to enjoy the story, which is weird now, as I am a huge Final Fantasy 14 fan, even during the ARR segment.
A Realm Reborn 2.0.
Gotcha. And then also, I think I have fallen out of the looter shooter genre. Once I got into Final Fantasy 14, I know MMOs are different, but everything I want in a social-based game is there. Plus, it has an incredible story. I was hoping the Steam release of Destiny 2 would bring me back in, but I was so lost as to what to do in the game. However, like Chevy said, lobby multiplayer games still have enjoyable ones, especially with PSO2 and Monster Hunter. I do think dev streams help a lot, especially when connecting to fans and having a reliable roadmap, so there isn't confusion as to what's to come. It is even better if they have gameplay to show during them, as it eases uncertainty with whether the devs will deliver it or not. This is the hub-based faux MMO. Me and Chevy have been talking about that since forever, but that's something we grew up with. We're big fans of this genre. There is definitely social aspects to those type of games that can really make or break them.
It's ironic because we just talked about this with the Division 2 reaction earlier, and like seeing someone else talk about how like Destiny 2 didn't pull him back in and stuff like that because of the social stuff.
Well, and then he's talking about Final Fantasy 14. When he got into that, it kind of changed his mind on a lot of shit. Well, that's why me and you differentiate. People don't differentiate like me and you do when it comes to MMOs and faux MMOs. I mean, that's not a name I heard. That's something I just started saying because it's like a faux hawk. It's not quite a fucking mohawk, but kind of is.
Yeah.
It's a faux MMO. Like it's simulating MMO shit, but it's not an actual MMO.
Right.
Me and you make that we differentiate. A lot of people don't. There's like, if it's online, it's an MMO. Don't agree.
That's not what that term means.
It was never the case when that title came out. If someone play a game that's like 4-player co-op, like, this is an MMO. I'm like, it's not though. When they came up with that name, it's like 100 people on the server and up or something like that. Like that was the original standard. And I've loosened my thoughts on that because everybody has called most games online MMOs now. So I have to kind of change with the times, but I will fucking still make that difference when I'm talking about a game like Monster Hunter or The Division or fucking Destiny. These are not MMOs. They're something close to it, but they're not quite.
Yeah. They're
a middle ground between if I'm playing a single player game that has 2-player co-op and I can invite you into my game and an MMO. It's right in between those two things. So, and yeah, there's differences. And if you do heavily play or have a long history with MMOs, not just even one MMO, but a lot of MMOs, you will start to see the differences and you might start favoring MMOs more if you're into those social features because you typically get them more with MMOs unless you're playing Phantasy Star.
Or Monster Hunter.
Or Monster Hunter. Yeah, exactly.
Which he mentioned. So.
Exactly. So just kind of saying, I agree with you. And I'm glad that what you're saying. And for anybody who might not be into this genre, just kind of elaborating a bit on where you might be coming from and where we definitely are coming from.
For sure.
Not speak for you, but I know you agree.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then the dev stream thing, I think that's huge. And just because we do need communication with the people we're giving money to. So, especially for games as service games, because you're an investor at that point.
Sure. So if the game's going to continue and you're going to keep giving them money, you are an investor at the game.
Yeah.
And some people are like, well, I'm not getting anything from them. Well, you get in a game you're enjoying playing. So you are investing in something you're spending your time and life to play. Yeah. So, yeah. And if you want to be good, you got to help them out. And some people are better at that than others. And some people don't return the development of the game as what you're paying them. And that sucks. And you should stop paying them. But it is important to be transparent about that shit. I do like surprises. So I don't like when people reveal every little thing they're doing. But a lot of people have gotten really good at dev streams.
Yeah. I was going to say, God, I bring up so much. But like, when Final Fantasy 14 does their dev streams, they will literally say, and we have a secret that we can't talk about, please look forward to it. Like it's always like, so they do keep secrets too still, but it's in the roadmap. There's another feature you're getting. We're not going to tell you though. So
yeah. Anything else you want to say on that?
No. I think we covered everything in there. If there's something we missed, hashtag ask TLG and ask us again or bring it up. So
yeah. And shout out to Stick for talking about Sawano being composer. I always love hearing about music in games. And I like when people can recognize the people who make it. I'll listen to some stuff and I'm like, is that Michael McCann in fucking Borderlands 3? And it was. And I was like, fuck yeah. I love that guy. Last comment that we'll be reading is Great Gouda, returning from prior episodes, Dean Takahashi saga. He said, and I replied to him, but he replied again, and I'm going to reply here. Anthem's too late for me, at least. I said it when it was announced and said it days before launch. Too good to be true. I'm sure it will appeal to others to some extent if it's actually any good, but I don't know. I think BioWare should just go back to focusing on narrative-heavy games. I think a lot of people agree with you on that. Too much ambition going on here, not enough realistic aspirations. At least in my opinion, I wouldn't mind another Mass Effect game. Cough, that's good. Let me just say, man, great comment. Great comment, Stick. Great comment, everybody. We get fucking awesome people who watch our show who have these fucking deep thoughts about shit that we do. I mean, I love it. I was reading them like, this is well thought out.
And not coming out as someone who's just trying to bash on something. So
sure, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You can be like, I don't like that game. Tell me why you don't like it, man.
Yeah,
I love hearing why people think things. When people are like, that sucks, I'm like, that's boring. Come on. I responded to him. I should probably read my response so people know. I said, though I encourage people to try new stuff so their creativity doesn't become stagnant. Oh, fuck. I think I fucked this up. A lot of times I respond at work, so my sentences might be weird. Doesn't become stagnant, but yes, BioWare was known for their strength in narrative-heavy single-player games, and I think the smart money would be embracing the strength and returning to it. So I agree with most people. I do hope they can make Anthem into something to make people happy, though. As someone who rejected the game, I only have something to gain if they make it good. I never bought the game, so if they make a good game and I come to over to play it and I buy it, they gained me, so they didn't lose me. They just haven't gotten me yet. But I do think it's important, and I'll touch on his response in a sec. I do think it's important that people try new things, though. Some people are like, they should have never made this game. Maybe in the way that it's been created, possibly, but BioWare never making an online game. I think people need to branch out and try new things.
Yeah, I mean,
because they weren't nailing their other fucking
it's
games.
kind of unfair to put people in boxes.
Yeah.
And I think to use a good example of that is Square making single player role playing games for so long and then delving into MMOs with Final Fantasy 11 and finding success in it.
Yeah.
Right. So like
fucking up 14 and then making one of the best MMOs ever made.
Yeah, I mean the company. It's good to let people stretch their wings a little.
Well, if it becomes too stagnant, some of those people who made something fantastic might leave the company to pursue something artistically more creative or
over and
different.
over again.
Yeah, it's important. As someone who does create a lot of things, it's important for me to try and change shit up because it does become almost like a repetitive task and it becomes less fun.
Yeah.
In that sense. So,
or to equate it to food, I could eat pizza all the time, but I don't want to eat the same pizza every time.
Oh, I always am switching up my diets because I'm like, I'm going to do this all the time. And I eat like that all the time. And I'm like, I'm getting bored. I'm going to do this all the time. Yeah. And I do that and shit. So I agree with that.
Change your toppings.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, and then he responded to me, yeah, for me, I'm not that good playing multiplayer games solo. Have that problem with Destiny 2. Haha. So it ends up as me not gaining anything if it's good because all my friends are burnt out by these constant failures that release. And so am I a bit. Creatively, I think they should keep going. But at the same time, I don't necessarily think they need to do it with a brand new game to do that. Prevent stagnation, just a known foundation with some good ideas will do. Not a sledgehammer to the foundation, haha. Hi Andromeda, long time no see. And though Mass Effect's foundation was narrative based, not gameplay, which I agree. That game was RPG heavy and choice heavy and narrative heavy for sure. I also think EA needs to stop forcing every single studio to use Frostbite. 100%, absolutely, I agree with you. It's so fucking lazy for them to do that, and it only hurts the developers. So I agree with you 100%. And it's boring. Like we were saying before, stagnant. Stop using the same shit. Do something different. That engine was built for Battlefield originally. Yep. And only Battlefield. Then EA didn't want to spend extra on other engines. And to be honest, when they first bought it, it was a big get. Frostbite's a beautiful looking engine, but people up high, high up people are like, well, we want all games to look great. Make a racing game out of that. And they're like, well, the engine wasn't really built for that. Make it work. And then they make games and then they don't work very well. And people are like, this game's buggy as fuck. And the developer's like, And he's like, better buy more games. Better buy more shiny looking games. They're all good looking. There's some good looking games we got here at EA. Spend extra money or spend extra on other engines. So they just made everyone use Frostbite. I think Fallen Order right now is the only engine not using Frostbite, but rather Unreal Engine 4, though. I could be wrong. And right now, I think Respawn is leading the way on what EA should be paying attention to in terms of moving forward.
I don't think any of Respawn's games are Frostbite.
No.
Okay. That's what I thought.
No, they're comfy with Unreal Engine. And Respawn's just awesome. And you got Vince Zampella, the fucking legend who made fucking Call of Duty what it is and all that shit. So it just makes complete sense. Also, we might cover this on Taste Tuesday, I'm not sure. But I think it's Criterion. The people who made Burnout are coming back to work on Need for Speed.
Weird.
And the last one they made was like 8 or 10 years ago. So EA is in a... I think they're looking at the mirror right now, figuring out what the fuck they're going to start doing.
I think they have to.
They've had to for a long time, but now the Respawn is just proving them wrong and they work under EA. They're like, well, we like online games. Single player's kind of dead. And everybody's like, is it? You sure? They're like, yeah, we're sure. And Respawn's like, is it? We work for you and we just proved you wrong. And they're like, ugh. And people are like, we like Burnout. And they're like, maybe we should bring those guys back. And it's like, just listen, man. Make your games, it's fine, but just listen.
You can do both.
Yeah, do both. It's fine. Have your ideas, but don't hear us and go, man, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You sure as fuck want our money, so we kind of know a little bit about what we're talking about. At least, like, sure. I want something I want to spend money on. Well, you should spend that money, but on my idea. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not a good thing. Anything you want to say on that?
I would say to directly kind of like talk about Great Gouda's commentary. I'm kind of with you on the Mass Effect stuff. Am I on the wrong person now? We've kind of rambled a bit.
Same guy. Oh, Stick. Did I ask you for your thing on that?
No, that was Stick. I am mixing them up. We already talked about that one.
They're both big, long, well thought out comments.
I don't think I'd personally go as far as say Anthem's too late for me, just because I just didn't even play it because I wasn't. I'm in a weird burnout period right now with these kind of games. That's why even earlier when we did the Division 2, I don't have a lot of excitement just because the thought of playing the type of game right now is not attractive. Nothing against the game.
I was feeling that for a while. I finally got to the point where I could play it again.
Yeah. So, but that being said, if they can turn around and make a good game out of it, I'm 100% open to the idea of playing it. Am I excited? Not really. To be quite honest with you.
For Anthem?
Yeah.
I'm not excited for it either.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Me and Psych were talking about this, and I was like, dude, he said this, and I just agree with him. So it's actually, he kind of sparked it in me, but he's like, dude, do something crazy.
Yeah.
Because they are already at fucking rock bottom with that game.
Go for it. And you know what?
If it continues how it is right now, it's dead.
Yeah.
If they do something fucking crazy, and people are like, this isn't what you guys originally said it was going to be, but I like this, you can save the fucking game. It's got to be radical.
Yeah, and I know that some of the problems had to do with the higher ups essentially throwing some shit in their lap and expecting them to clean it up. But BioWare does have this weird path they've been going down ever since Mass Effect 2, like Stick mentioned in the earlier comment. And you obviously had some opinions about Andromeda, if I caught that right. Yeah. I didn't play that game solely based on the fact that I had a hard time with Mass Effect 3. It's like the only Mass Effect I couldn't beat at the time it came out. And then Andromeda came out, and I just watched that shitstorm happen. And I was just like, whew, okay, apparently we're just...
I saw it like 2 months after it released for $13 at Walmart, and I was like,
yeah, it sucks. And then like Dragon Age, right? The first Dragon Age is
it's so good, dude.
Fucking
it's so
good.
Depressing.
The second one's a bit disappointing for me. I know some people like it.
Inquisition's cool. It's not like amazing.
Inquisition's cool, but it's not Dragon Age.
Yeah, it's really weird how they fucking made this awesome game, and they're bragging about like, we're bringing this kind of game back.
So
EA's like, we're bringing this fucking genre back, and they did it. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is dope. And then Dragon Age 2 came out. It's like, what are you doing? And then fucking Inquisition comes out. It's like,
it's a neat game, but it probably should have been called something else.
That's fine, but I'm just like, why'd you make that then?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That was good. Why are you just like, we're making this? You like that? Well, we're going to change a little bit.
Yeah, so I think...
EA's led by fucking idiots, man.
What I think in the BioWare spectrum of things, I think whoever's creatively in charge really needs to rethink what's going on there. Because very similarly, it's not really an exciting name for me anymore, unfortunately.
It's not. That fucking blows. Mm-hmm. BioWare used to be like one of the big names. They're making a game you're like, pay attention.
Yeah.
And now they make something like, oh god, what are they gonna do?
It's scary. Yeah.
It's like, what are they gonna fuck up this time? It's like Sega.
Yeah.
If Sega's like, we're got a game coming on, I'm like, okay.
Did you make it or did you pay someone to make it?
We'll see if it's fucking one of the 2% of your games that are decent.
Yeah. Like, Phantasy Star is fun. So
yeah, they got some good ones every once in a while. That's an 8-year-old game though. So fucking, what are they doing right now? I don't know. Yakuza.
Paying someone else to make Sonic better for them.
Yeah. They should just always do that. Always do that. Just
Anyways.
find people who make good games and be like, hey, make a good game for us. And they're like, okay, Sega, I'll do it.
And then, the Frostbite thing, 100%, man. That engine was very hyper specifically designed for a game. And other companies have kind of done, Ubisoft has kind of done this, though. They now have multiple engines. So it is nice to see at least one company go, you can't use it for everything. They need to also do that.
Ubisoft does dabble quite a bit. They have like, I
think
swear
like
they got
3
a couple
engines.
proprietary engines, and then they also use other engines.
Yeah.
But because some of their games, I'm looking at the landscape, and I'm like, this is a lot like that other game.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. All their engines are real good about, like, I swear they just got like a satellite. It looks at the ground and goes, and just fucking takes all the info, and then it just goes.
Didn't they say they have a tool that essentially just creates?
They have to, because they fucking make way too big fucking areas that are super detailed in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And anybody else is CD Projekt Red taking fucking forever to go, we're going to detail this city. And Ubisoft's like, you can just copy it and then copy paste it.
And then
it's not going to have all the cool details of someone who meticulously crafted it. But we made a big area that no one else is making this detailed very quickly.
For sure.
It's impressive.
It is
but it's also
it's super impressive, and they make the only games that people go in a positive way. Almost, I guess as positive as it can be. This place is too big for me to explore.
positive for some people, negative for
Yeah,
other people.
yeah.
Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is one of the first games in my gaming career that I've heard more people than not say games can be too big.
Yeah,
They can be too big. And I felt that. I played it for fucking hours. I left like the first, like a couple islands, got to the next area, and then you go over to the ocean. And then after I beat that area, I've been playing the game for like 20 hours or some shit. And I looked at it and I was like, am I going to go to all these places? Like, what is this an MMO? Like, what the fuck is going on?
that's
here?
funny because like that was kind of like was it Just Cause 3? Had a
This.
huge map.
Yeah, and which is, dude, there used to be this. Me and Josh used to talk about this all the time back in the old days of Xbox and 360 and shit. We're like, oh, these maps are getting bigger. People used to brag about like that's 2.5 times the
biggest
size
map,
of Skyrim.
yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm like, we've nailed it. We've already seen big maps.
Yeah,
Make them detailed. Make me want to stay in them.
yeah. They need to be fun at this point.
Don't make
yeah.
the worst thing ever. I don't care about the size of the map. Any size map, if it's dead feeling, I don't like it.
Or it just doesn't matter.
Or if it's flat, it's just a flat fucking plane. Like, I don't care about the size.
Yeah,
of
you're
the
just in
fucking
boxes at that point fighting things.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, I play fucking. We were talking about this recently, but like, Kingdom Come Deliverance. They like remade like Bohemia from that time, and like when you walk in the woods, you feel like you could get lost in the woods, and like there's like little creeks and shit where like it like goes down in there, but it kind of bumps up, and then the creek goes up, and it kind of all is lumpy and shit. And it feels organic. Or even like The Witcher 3, you're going through a fucking forest, and then into like a beautiful field where the wind's blowing, and then the trees are creaking and shit, and like the world just feels alive.
Yeah.
And then you play other games where like you're walking around and it's just a desolate wasteland with a couple trees here and there.
Copy paste.
And enemies just standing in the field. And you go fucking kill them. And then you run into a town and there's just NPCs standing around everywhere. And I'm just like, why am I here? Who sent me to hell? Anyway.
But the last thing I want to comment on with that is the Unreal 4 comment. I think that is pretty much a no-brainer. And that's just them being stubborn. Quite honestly, because Unreal is capable of ridiculous amounts
Unreal's
of things.
as good as you want to make it.
Yeah,
that's up to you. It just gives you an easy tool to fucking do it.
Yeah, and that's their bread and butter, anyways. Besides Fortnite at this point, but
that's their bread and butter.
Yeah, they put the time in to make the modular engine that everyone can use, and they throw it out there for people to do as such, and then they start the next one. So, yeah, use it.
For sure. Anything else?
No, it's been a long episode.
For sure. This is a very long episode. We watched Final Fantasy twice. We watched the fucking Division 10-minute trailer. We talked about Sonic. We did what we've been playing. And then we read your guys' comments. You guys, awesome comments. Thank you for commenting.
Thank you.
If there's something you want us to talk about, or you got a comment that you'd like us to talk about on the show, type in hashtag AskTLG and we'll prioritize it. Again, thank you for commenting, everybody, even if we didn't read it, although I did make an effort to try and read all the comments. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tastecast. Unless you have anything else to say at all, nothing. That's going to do it for this episode of Tastecast on Taste of Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at Taste of Gaming. Check out our streams. Links down below. I'm on everything. Chevy's on a couple things. And we have a Discord link down below as well. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us in audio form. And yeah, look forward to Taste Tuesday. Until then, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Have a good night, guys, and take it easy.